Well, Iowa women's basketball fans, it was quite a year. Hate to say that. 12 hours or whatever. Whoops, there it goes. I guess that's sort of like the second overtime tonight. Kind of fell flat on its face. The Hawkeyes running out of steam, running out of gas in OT number 2 in round 2 here against the Virginia Cavaliers. If I look a little unorthodox here, it's because I am coming to you live from Carver-Hawkeye Arena. We are awaiting several people, one being Kachine Alexander, who is such a mainstay and a big part of what we do here from the Hawkeye of the Storm with our Iowa women's basketball coverage. Also, Kyle Spence, he'll be joining us to co-host with us. Also, Isaac Nichols is currently with Jan Jensen and the Iowa players in the press conference room. So we'll get instant reaction from him as well. Lots of people here, folks. This was man, what a place to play this sport. It is such an up and down from last night to right now. Last night I was sort of speechless for a different reason, and now it's we were sitting right below press row and got a great view of all these great athletes, Hannah Stuelke and Kylie Feuerbach and Taylor McCabe, as they walked off this court for the final time. And I tweeted it out. One of the things that just to me exemplifies this team and this program. Hannah Stuelke's bawling her eyes out, and yet she stuck around as long as everybody, longer than most on the team, to sign autographs. That's just the culture here. I know I'm going to sound like a homer like I did last night in a different, more sentimental way, but if that doesn't touch you, I don't know what would. We can talk about the game. I know we will. Kachine's going to be weighing in on it here in a little bit. Didn't shoot the 3-ball well. I don't have the final box score in front of me, but didn't shoot the 3-ball well. Missed a lot of bunnies, missed some crucial free throws, especially at the end of that first overtime. They had an opportunity, I thought, to really seal the game. Chit Chat Wright misses 2 of her 4 straight free throw attempts, which gave Virginia an opportunity. Kimora Johnson was really, really good. We knew she was one of the best players, not only in their league, in that ACC league, but in the country. And she made Iowa pay. And again, that second overtime just couldn't hit shots and ultimately couldn't get stops. And I don't know, it went pretty thin. First of all, they're playing a couple of players, sort of like the men last night. They were playing a couple of players that had 4 fouls. And in the case of tonight, a couple of them actually fouled out in that second overtime. One of the reasons why we didn't want Iowa men's basketball to take that game to overtime last night against the Gators. Eventually, foul trouble can catch up to you, and it did. But really, by the time Hannah Stuelke, was it Stuelke? No, it was Ava Hayden and Kylie Feuerbach that fouled out late. Really, by the time that happened, this game was over. And again, just so many things you look back at today. They pushed the lead, I think, up to 9 or 10 in that second half, early in the second half, and then Virginia made a pushback. It was very similar to the men's game yesterday, and in a sense. It's almost too many parallels. It's hurting my head even trying to think about that. But just the lack of shooting in that first half. And really, the difference is the men got it going in the second half. The women did not, and just needed threes. They had plenty of open 3-point shots, I thought, and just couldn't get any of them to fall. Chit Chat finally hit one late in the second overtime, but it was a little too late as Virginia takes down the 2 seed, Iowa, 83-75, ending Iowa's season, preventing them from another Sweet 16. This is their second straight loss in the second round. Of course, last year, Lucy Olson led this team to a second round finish. Ironically enough, Lucy was in the crowd again tonight, and Lisa Bluter was in the crowd. She was right above us. Beth Getz, of course, everybody connected to Iowa was here. What a huge event for Iowa City and the University of Iowa to host. The difference last year is they lost in Norman because they were not hosting. They lost to the higher seed in Oklahoma. Today, they were the much higher seed, but they played a Virginia team that was, if Kimora Johnson's playing, this team can beat just about anybody. They were a 10 seed. You look at their resume, they played teams tough. They're very dependent on Kimora Johnson, maybe like Iowa's dependent on Bennett Sturts. But just bottom line, tough loss, and to end the season this way, a lot of emotions, not just from Iowa, the roster and the staff, but you could just tell like a lot of fans left early because that's just the nature of when you lose, when you're about to lose, fans leave early. They want to get a jump start. Bottom line is they figured out a way to, Virginia figured out a way to come in here and win. So we will, one second, check on some. Yeah, Carver's apparently trying to kick us out. So we're we're gonna hang on here as long as we can. Let's add Tim into the mix. Tim, do we have you, Tim?
Yes.
We got you, Tim. Welcome.
I would like to say it's disappointing. I mean, just to even lose in Carver-Hawkeye is disappointing. Then to lose to a 10 seed. But Virginia was good. They were long. They were active. They wanted it more than us. And I'm trying to find ways to criticize Jan Jensen, and you can. But at the end of the day, Jan Jensen didn't miss the free throws. Jan Jensen didn't miss all the open looks at three. Jan Jensen, at the end of the regulation, Jan Jensen wasn't Chit Chat, who had an open Avon and seal and chose to fade away at the last second. So yes, Jan Jensen might not did the best, but this wasn't on her.
I'm not going to disagree with you, Tim. Obviously, there's some things I think you can look at and point towards. One being Kylie Feuerbach. You'd hope she could hit a couple of threes. I'm not putting that on Jan Jensen, but as far as senior leadership is concerned, those are things that you'd like to expect, or you'd expect your seniors and your vets to help you out with. But I don't know that there's anything specific. I think the only thing that maybe people are going to question is why they went so thin with the rotation. I mean, Addie Deal's been struggling, but if you're not going to play Addie, you'd expect to maybe play Addie a little bit. Or excuse me, if you're not going to play Addie, you might play Callie a little bit. So I think that's a question. But yeah, no, I agree with you. I don't know that you can really place this on anybody specifically, given the free throws missed and the open threes that were missed.
You got to be proud of this team, and I know a lot of people are going to hammer Jan Jensen, but if you told us that this team was a 2 seed with this roster, I would have called you crazy and said, get out of my face. And she found the way to get this team here, and we just didn't execute well enough. We didn't hit shots. Second game in a row, we didn't hit shots. We were flat at the beginning of the game, and then we lost the quarters that we usually win, which is the first and the fourth quarter. Yeah, you're right. And I don't know. I mean, I guess I do have this is first half. I'm looking at first half box score here. First half, you shoot 31% from the field, Tim. You go 1 of 12 from three. I was talking about the parallels between Iowa women. The Iowa men yesterday were 1 of 11 in the first half. So, yeah, I mean, the parallels are almost uncanny. But yeah, you shoot 31% from the field and 8% from three in the half, and only get to the foul line twice. And on the flip side, you give Virginia Tech 4 threes. Did hold them to 28 points, but yeah, 23 is such a low number. Just not enough offense. But Hannah, I'm proud of Hannah. She went 7 for 12, scored 15 points, 19 rebounds. At the end, when we desperately needed a bucket, you seen her go get like 3 offensive rebounds. So it was good to see her go with some fight.
She was phenomenal. What'd she end up with, 20 rebounds or 19?
19.
19, yeah. She almost had number 20. She's going to be kicking herself over a couple of bunnies that she missed. That's something that she's kind of been a struggle for her since day one. But yeah, I mean, man, she was crashing the glass. I thought Journey Houston really crashed the glass. In fact, I understand. I think maybe the one rotational decision, besides just like, okay, they went really they were really short with their rotation and didn't play anybody other than a little bit of time for Hayes, a little bit of time for Deal plus Journey, is I would argue maybe you go, Jen. I know Cash has been an advocate for this. Maybe you go Journey at the 3. Hannah's playing so well. Ava's playing so well. But maybe you can go Journey at the 3 and spell, whether it be Kylie or I know Kylie was needed to defend Kamora Johnson, but I just thought Journey was playing so well. Obviously, maybe you put Strimlo on the bench and you play a lineup, a forward heavy lineup along with Chit Chat and Kylie. But yeah, I think that'd be my one thing. I thought Journey probably deserved a few more minutes, but you're absolutely right. Hannah was crashing the glass like crazy. Journey was crashing the glass. Both of those players worked their tails off inside.
Yeah, and they really could win Journey at the 3. They played 6-4, 6-4, 6-4 basically the whole game. So, and it isn't
yeah. I don't know that Isaac's going to get that question in this afternoon. I haven't talked to him since he went to the press room, but that would be a good question for Jan. Like, how much consideration did you give to giving Journey more minutes in that second half? Because you can't do it unless you play her at the 3. Because you've got to play Hannah with the motor she's got, and you got to play Ava. So, it's a great question. And next year, there's going to be obviously a lot of open minutes at the 4 because of Hannah leaving, but they're going to have a lot of competition for that spot with McKenna Velichko. So it'll be interesting. Does Velichko fit in naturally at the 4 and then you play Journey more at the 3, or do those players just battle for the 4 and Taylor stays at the 3? They got to fill the spot where Kylie's at. Assuming Chit Chat's back, what happens with Emily Rodriguez? There's a lot of questions now that we're officially in the off season that we're going to have to start addressing.
Yeah,
they're going to have to start addressing.
Yeah, we're in a good spot for next year. I think if we just add a couple of portal pieces, preferably, if we can get someone that's around that 6 foot range, that's an elite defender and could knock down a 3, that'll be good. We can get a 4 with somebody that can stretch the floor a little bit, because I don't think we should go away from our high-low game. I actually like the high-low game. I just hate that it's our number one option. But I think our goal should really be to go 4 out around Ava and get guards that can crash. And I think we need to find a way to keep Taylor Strimlo on the bench, because our bench was really flat without her on the bench. And she can be a starter, but you need somebody like that on the bench to be your 6th man.
Yeah, I doubt that happens, Tim. I don't disagree with you, but I would be very surprised if after this year, especially given the losses specifically the loss of Kylie and the loss of Taylor and McCabe, I would be very surprised if Strimlo goes back to a bench role. Unless they're able to strike gold in the portal at guard. I think that's kind of what you're implying, that they need to do that, and I don't disagree. I don't know exactly what that looks like per se, but unless you can go big in the portal at guard, I think it's going to be hard to relegate her back to the bench. And yeah, like you brought up Velichko, the combination of Velichko and Hayden, is intriguing. The high-low game, you talk about Journey potentially working in there at the 4 and the battle there, and who sits at the 3, and is Velichko a day 1 starter? All those things are interesting storylines, to say the least.
Yeah, it just sucks. It really does suck. It kind of ruined my whole day, especially when we went up 9 and I was like, okay, we might got this, and then we give up 2 open 3s. And I'm like, all right. And then we just give it up. It was disappointing.
You and probably about 15,000 others in this arena, and how many other thousands watching.
Yeah. But the good thing is we don't have that obligation to play cancers on offense anymore, which is, I don't want to call Hannah a cancer, but 70% of the time she kind of is, and then 30% of the time she isn't. So we don't have the obligation to play Fairbach and Stuckey anymore. So that might be a good thing for us. We can fully transition back into the 4-out offense. And then
does Eddie Neal start next year, Tim?
I think after this year, they kind of need to strap the point guard thing and turn her into more. I said one time that if she can turn into a Maura Brown type player, then she can be a starter where she just strictly focuses on being an off-ball guard. And, of course, she can bring the ball up sometimes and initiate offense. But I think she needs to truly focus on being an off-ball guard and coming off ball screens and working off like that, because I don't think she'll ever be quick enough to create for herself consistently. So if we can put her in a position where she's comfortable coming off ball screens and things like that, and then get into her mid-range or get into the rim like that, I think she could be a starter next year.
Well, I'll say this: like if I'm reflecting back, and I know this is really quick off of the loss, but if I'm reflecting back on some of the discrepancies on the on tonight's box score, just in general, like some of the biggest issues this team faced in the last month, to me, it's the lack of replacement for Taylor McCabe from outside. And I thought maybe that would be Addie Deal, and I talked about having a defined role for your freshman. And I still believe that she never really found that defined role. And I thought that was reflective of her with her lack of minutes tonight. If she could have been in here, somebody's yelling down. If we could have been, sitting here talking about an Iowa team that made, I don't know how many threes did they have total for the game. I think they ended up with. Do you know the stat, Tim? Again, I don't have the box score in front of me. I'm working on limited information here. Do you have the final box score? How many threes they made? Probably 4, 5.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if I'm looking at this right, 1 in the first half, 4 in the second half, combined with the 2 OTs. So, you get 2 or 3 more threes. It's a totally different ball game. And so that might be the first thing I look at is like dealing with the injury to Taylor McCabe. You needed to have somebody that could come in and step up as a 3-point shooter. And the only person I look at as maybe being an obvious fit for that role would have been an Addie Deal. And I just don't think she ever settled into accepting that. I don't know if that was asked of her specifically, but to me, that's the biggest thing is they needed a 3-point shooter and they just never got it. They never got it back. You were not going to replace Taylor McCabe in her ability to from the outside. But if Addie could have given you even 2 a game, it would have been a huge step forward.
And then not having Emily, at first I was thinking like it might not hurt that much, but her ability to create the ball, even though she was a little wild, but I think if she was keeping on playing and she got used to actually playing in the system, and it got much more better, because she's a 15-point per game scorer when she's comfortable and actually realizes what she's doing. And she could have kind of been in that high man and the high low sometimes. You could have had Ava in the corner, Hannah in the corner, because of her ability to score off short bursts and in the mid-range. So that one really hurt me.
So there's another that's going to be another storyline to follow here in the coming weeks. What happens with it may not be weeks, it may be in the coming week, because players are announcing their intentions earlier than normal. It probably will be a bit of a wait there. I think we've all been real positive about the fact that Emily has been with the team. Seems like her demeanor is positive. Doesn't mean she's coming back, but that's going to be a huge storyline to follow, Tim, because they lose a lot of scoring, to your point, and that's what she does. She gives you length, she gives you scoring. She's going to give you help with the 3, potentially battle there. She'd be assuming there's nothing off the court that I'm not aware of, not privy to. I would think that would be a huge. You talk about re-recruiting your roster in the day and age of NIL and the portal. I think she'd be where I'd start.
Yeah.
In addition to obviously Chit Chat, I'm assuming the people like Chit Chat and Addie and even Layla Hayes and Ava, of course. I would assume that none of those players there's any risk of them leaving.
Yeah, the good thing is that our head coach is an elite recruiter, and then we got one of the best recruiters or up-and-coming recruiters in the country, Lysandra Barrett. So hopefully they can get us back going, and we don't slack in the NIL department, and we got a good history of transfer. So maybe we can just get a big one and just get them to visit Iowa City, because I think once you get to Iowa City, it's kind of hard for you to say.
They'll get some people in the portal. There's no question. You're absolutely right. I can't speak to their exact funding that they get NIL wise and they have at their disposal, but they have enough that. No, you're absolutely right. They're going to get people in the portal. Just like they got Chit Chat and Emily last year. I don't know. Do you look first for a possible replacement for Kylie? Do you go look for maybe like a 3-and-D type 2? You need help at the 4, but given Velichko and Houston coming in and coming back, I think you probably look at the 2 and the 3 first. If you can fill that 3 spot with someone who's already on your roster like Emily, great. And Callie gives you depth. Hopefully she develops.
Yeah, I think you definitely look for the Kylie replacement because I get that people want to take her off the floor, but I don't know if we take her off the floor, they might uprise it to about we might not even have a chance to even get to overtime with her defense early in the game on Kamora Johnson, just not letting her get into rhythm, just not letting her
Yeah.
get open looks when she was taking looks. She played very well today, and she has a lot of good misses. I wouldn't say her misses was way off; they just didn't go down. And she wasn't like a cancer how she usually is. She took shots. I still hate the sideways dribbling and not going anywhere with it, but that was just her at this point.
Well, Tim, we appreciate you dialing in as always, sir. And we're not done talking Iowa women's hoops, but please join us for whatever off-season streams we have, and we appreciate you being here all season.
I will. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, sir. All right. It looks like we have got former Iowa women's basketball guard Kachine Alexander with us.
Why can't I hear you?
I don't know why you can't hear me.
Nope.
You might have to. You might have to recycle, reload, review. Might have to go to the scores table and reload the stream.
That's weird.
So Kachine will. We can still hear.
Oh
Kachine.
my God! Again?
She cannot hear us. We'll see if we can get Kachine back in here. All right. We also got Kyle joining us, which is a saving grace given the fact that I'm piecemealing my way through this stream. The timing is uncanny. We welcome in Kyle. Hey, Kyle.
Good afternoon.
Save me from this makeshift post game
okay?
that I'm doing here. Yeah, we're gonna get Kashine's audio back, and I'm gonna get out of here and try to continue this elsewhere. So hopefully we have Kachine. Yeah, she's still blacked out right now, but we're gonna try to get her back on. But Kyle, welcome. Thanks for hustling back to your home base.
Yeah, that was a run. I had to run to the Think Pine parking lot, through down to the driving range, and then get home as fast as I could. So.
I think you've got the wrong mic because you sound very echoey, but I'm sure you can get that fixed. Let's see if we have Kachine back in here. It looks like she's upside down. Kachine, can you hear us?
I can hear you.
Okay, good deal. All right, here's what I'm going to do, Kyle. Assuming your mic is working now.
Am I good now?
No, you still sound echoey. I mean, it's not horrible. It's just like you're clearly not using your good mic. We'll try to get all that figured out. Hopefully people can be patient with us this afternoon. We're all in different situations. Kachine's trying to get back from her job in Charlotte, and Kyle's trying to get back from Think Pine, and I'm still hanging out here at Carver. So
is that any better?
Yeah, much better. Much better.
Good.
All right. I'm going to, what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to hang out in the background, and Kyle, I'm going to just, you know what to do. Well, I'll get to a safe place here soon and pick this thing up. But we took one call with Tim, and basically that's all we've done. So I guess I'll let you take the lead with Kachine for now.
Cool. All right, everybody. Well, obviously a disappointing loss. Corey's been covering it for the last looks like about 25 minutes here. Just tough the way that all happened. Brutal first couple of rounds for the women. First, the game in the heat, 89 degrees on the court in round one, and then obviously the double overtime loss with the 9-point lead in the second half in round two. And just, obviously a sad end to what was a productive season for the Iowa women's basketball team. Rose all the way to a 2 seed, got to that second round, but could not punch their ticket back to the Sweet 16 for the second year in a row. Kachine, you gonna be hanging out with us for a little bit. I see you're en route back from work.
I am.
Okay. All right.
In traffic, so we're good.
Okay. All right. Well, stay safe. And what did you have a chance to? Do you have a chance to catch the whole game, or what was your situation?
I watched the whole game.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, we'll start here. Obviously, the lack of offensive production was really, really concerning in the first round. and it just rolled straight over into round 2. Only 5 3-pointers made for the women. The free throw line, a huge concern at the end of the game. Just overall, just a grind from start to finish. What were your main takeaways offensively in a first couple of rounds at home that Iowa really struggled?
I think I'm going to start with the bright spots. I think that I thought Hannah played really, really hard.
Yes.
I thought that she brought the energy. There was a moment in the game where I was like, okay, that's leadership. I thought that Chit Chat responded from the last game. I thought that she was aggressive. I thought that she did what we needed her to do in that moment. Yeah. I think that what has been our Achilles heel all season is what got us in the butt in the end, and that's our guard production.
Yep. Straight up.
Kylie and Taylor combined 9 points, 2 of I think 17 from 3. You're not gonna win.
No.
And the fact that we even had a chance and should have probably with Chit Chat those free throws with the flagrant is insane to me in itself, because I don't really think that we did enough in the guard spot to do that. Now, thankfully, our post decided to show up, and thankfully, Chit Chat got the message from Coach Jay. But if Chit Chat didn't get the message, that would have been a very bad game for us. I think that I'm very disappointed in our coaching decisions in regards to drawing up plays.
Yes, I am too. I am really disappointed.
Beyond pissed off with that. It's no way on 2 separate occasions do we get terrible shots from that. We took a timeout to drop a play. I knew exactly what the play they were running and what they were trying to get. The problem is, and always is, if you want to go to Ava, then you are gonna have to empty out that help side.
Yes,
from Hannah.
Thank you.
You have to. So diagonal, beautiful. I love it. Now immediately have Hannah. If they're playing how they're playing, then you're gonna have to have her come off a ball screen. They have to come out of the paint.
Yeah.
And as soon as she starts coming up, now you dump it into Ava. But I just felt like, what are we doing? They had no other secondary option to whatever the first option was on the diagonal screen. You can't tell me you thought that was going to be open. No. There's no way you thought that was going to be open just off one initial easy action. Like, those 2 plays really made me angry. Because
the 2 words that came to mind, and those 2 plays in particular, obviously, but really the whole game were, to me, watching Iowa play offensive basketball in this game, were simplistic, number 1, and predictable, number 2. I mean, they were so simple over and over and over on possessions, and so predictable over and over and over. I mean, how many times does Chit Chat have to go around a Ava Hayden screen on the left side and then pull the ball out and do nothing with it before you're like, hey, we might need to add something to this action? Like, it's just,
and then, why not go to your typical play at the end of a game with the post-to-post ball screen? Yeah. Why not do that? It works every time. Yeah. Well, it's like, what are we doing? When did we start doing diagonal screens? Like, okay.
By the way, real quick, can we just acknowledge something very obvious? If we're going to give people like Abby Stamp all this credit for drawing up plays at the right moment, let's make sure we direct this in the right place.
Correct.
You talked about this, right, Kachine? Like, that's not in general. I don't want to take blame away from the head coach because the buck stops with the head coach, but it's not Sean Sullivan. It's not Sean Sullivan. I don't think it's Lysandra Barrett. I don't think it's Jasmine. I think it's probably Abby that in those moments, she's the one calling those plays, especially if they're for Chit Chat, correct?
Yeah, I from what I've seen, she's always the one making those last, end of the play decisions. I haven't seen anybody else with a clipboard.
Yeah.
So
Well, I just want to
I-
we need to make something very clear. I've said it, Kachine, you've heard me say it. I've even said it for the men's game. Both of these programs have had issues all year round with late game offense. And Kachine,
Yeah.
you hear me complain all the time about
Yeah.
women's teams in general at the end of quarters. But
Yeah.
the poor execution, like you said, you want to talk about the actual plays that are being drawn up, the X's and O's.
Mhm.
Just it's a poor effort from start to finish this year, I think, in those moments. I mean, I'm trying to think of the last time. Did Iowa have a situation this year where they drew up a play to win? You guys tell me. I'm
No,
just
I
drawing a
don't
blank
remember
on that.
No.
They
I
haven't
don't
been in that
remember one.
situation. They haven't been in that situation much. So I'll give them some grace on that. But in late quarter and late half situations, they've been notably bad.
Yeah.
Yes.
Not to mention, too, Kachine, you can maybe touch on this a little bit, too, but the baseline out of bounds plays were horrible today. I mean, they did not generate anything. Stremlo had a couple of passes that she threw, and you're just like, man, that's a bad idea. Like, it's just a bad idea. And held the ball quite a bit. I mean, several of those, crowd was getting really anxious. 4 seconds on the 5-second counter on the inbound.
Mm-hmm.
It's just disappointing from an X's and O's perspective. And so much of what they had offensively was just literally an inbound or literally a post feed to Ava spinning a shot. And if that first look didn't do anything, then it was like, well, what are we doing from here? And there was no, like you're saying, there's no secondary thing to back it up.
No, because and you have time, right? We're not talking like 4 seconds. They had a whole 20 seconds to come up with an actual play.
Yeah.
And I'm like, if you don't have the first option, you need to have 2 and 3.
Yeah.
So everybody knows what's happening, right?
Yeah.
And so no matter the situation, I didn't feel like the team knew what their next option was.
Yeah.
Outside of Ava.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you got to have a secondary or a third or something. Like, hey, if we don't get this, then you're going to come do this. And then we're going to, like, it just seemed like that was not an option.
The second that Chit Chat's, like, when she went to go for the feed in regulation when there was 10 seconds left, she gets the ball inbounded to her. Ava goes to the post. She hesitated. I don't know why she hesitated on that pass. Ava was there, first of all. So I don't know why that pass was not thrown on time. But then the second she pulled that ball out, it was like you're saying, she had no idea what to do. She had 5 whole seconds on the clock. Like, that's it. You know this. Like, Iowa fans know this from last night. 5 seconds. Florida went up the court. It's an eternity. 5 seconds is an eternity in that situation to make some kind of move. And all she had was a spin away from the basket into a fadeaway. And it's like, guys, you called a timeout. You had 10 seconds on the clock. They didn't press you on the inbounds. You got everything you wanted. You had what Jan keeps saying is one of the best players in the conference in Ava Hayden posting up. All you had to do was throw that pass, and she maybe goes to the free throw line. All she has to do is make one, or she turns and scores. And honestly, even if she doesn't, if she misses and we go to overtime, you and I are both saying, okay.
I'm okay with that.
Okay, we'll live with it. That's okay.
Now,
but for that to be poorly executed on a spin into a fadeaway by a player, by the way, and I don't know how much of this was covered on the broadcast, but Chit Chat was going to the bench in timeouts, which she played. I don't know how many minutes she played. She was bothered by her knee today. She was bothered. She was getting the massage gun. She was having trainers work on her constantly. And on a bad knee, she's playing she played 49 minutes tonight.
I don't know if it's a knee. I think it was her cramps because she was constantly drinking Pedialyte, that big ass bottle. Yeah. She was drinking Pedialyte. She was drinking the little pouches, electrolytes.
It was not a knee. 100% it was soft tissue. It was soft tissue. Okay. Well, yeah, cramping, soft tissue. Yeah.
Yeah, because I was like, she's struggling in regards into that.
And then my only see from up in row 14 was the trainer. It may have been like the lower part of her upper leg.
Kyle, we were right up. Yeah, we were right above the bench.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it was.
Where specifically did you see them working on, Corey? Was it up in the lower leg or in the upper leg?
Now, don't take this weird, but inner thigh. Inner thigh.
Oh, okay.
I thought it was like the inside of her knee, but it must have been a little.
No, inner thigh.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay. Now the other thing that I will say that I hindsight's 20/20. But my initial thought when we had the decision of who was gonna shoot the free throws was not Chit Chat.
Yeah.
It was, I mean, I call it what you want. It was not Chit Chat. And I'm not saying that the decision was horrible. No, I'm not saying that. Because Chit Chat was playing well. But my thing is, we're talking about a kid who's chugging Pedialyte, okay? We're talking about a kid who's doing everything she possibly can at this point, right? Yeah. I'm going with Kylie Fierbach.
I would too. I would
like,
too.
This is my senior. I don't care if she hasn't hit a three. Threes are not the same as free throws, okay? Yeah. Like, those are not the same. I'm going with Kylie in that sense. And I know that's a lot coming from me because y'all know how I feel about Kylie. But, like,
well, she's got 88%.
I'm immediately thinking Kylie. So then when I saw Chit Chat, I was like, I mean, okay. Like, I wasn't mad about it, right? But I was kind of like, okay. Like, okay, let's see. You know, because it's not, Chit Chat's a good free throw shooter too. I was just weighing the circumstances that we were in. She was in at this point. Every timeout, every stoppage of play, she is eating something, she's drinking something, and I'm like, she's just trying to make it through at this point.
Yeah.
But I mean, again, I that was just one thing that I would do differently. Again, hindsight is 2020. We don't know if Kylie would have done any better, but I would have went with Kylie. My senior, she's a great free throw shooter. We know this. It's not the same as shooting threes. It just isn't. But again, hey, it is what it is. She decided to go with Chit Chat, and that's fine. But I mean, would that have made a difference if Kylie came to the free throw line, even if she went 1 for 1, right? And the next time Chit Chat gets fouled, it's hard to go step up to the line when you just miss one.
Yeah.
Like, it's not an easy situation. And instead of us being up 4, we're up 2.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, just think about how much bigger it would have been to be up by 3. You get one of those 2 misses back. To be up by 3 and force them to make a 3 to tie is a massive difference with under 20. It was like, what, 15 seconds to go when she got that next pair of free throws, correct?
Yeah.
It's like 14 seconds left in the game.
Yes. And this is why it's really, really hard to feel bad for them, Corey, because it's like, hey, I mean, they missed the 2 free throws, the 2 executions at the end of the overtime and the end of regulation. I mean, it's hard, like as devastated as we are for them, it's hard to feel bad for them because I'm not going to hear tonight about.
You can you can feel bad for somebody that you know is a comment, you know, as a result of the comedy of their own errors. But the other thing I say is I think the officials handed them that flagrant. That was not a flagrant on Virginia. I don't quite understand why that got upgraded to a flagrant 1. I know there's going to be Iowa fans that disagree on that.
Have you ever, and Kachine, have you ever seen this, where a flagrant's committed and they call it like 25 seconds later in the last minute of the game?
Yes.
It's so weird.
It's unobserved. No, it's not. It's not weird. It's not weird at all.
Yeah, they call it unobserved. But my only thing is, I knew they were going to upgrade the Hannah one because I didn't really think the other one was that serious as it was. Like,
the first one wasn't that serious either.
Hannah's wasn't. I'm like, that's incidental contact. Like, the girl didn't just, you know what I'm saying? Like, are we really okay? Whatever. But because she's bleeding, now it's a thing. Like, the nose is a tricky place. Like, you could barely touch your nose and it start bleeding. Yeah. So I was like, okay, if they call that, which that's fine. I knew they were gonna call Hannah's because they had to. You can't call one without the other. Like, you just can't. So,
but it would have been better for Iowa if they called neither of them because Virginia hit both free throws.
Agreed. But I mean, at the end of the day, like I said before, and damn it, Kylie, you played good defense.
She did.
Haven't let her get in the play, and then on that she has a wide ass like St. John's Kansas let St. John's on the men's side wide open. Like you didn't even try to change her. What happened?
Yeah.
But I mean,
anybody else think Kachine needs to calm down?
No, we don't.
Can I just say this? Let me just say this. So I agree on the Kylie thing. You get your opportunity at free throws, give it to Kylie. And I'll say this, like, we haven't talked about Chit Chat making mistakes all year. Man, she made some big ones in that overtime. She had a couple of really. First of all, you missed the 2 free throws that probably would have won the game. I'm not putting everything. Just acknowledging free throw. of the horrendous live ball turnover in overtime number 2. Still, there was another one, the foul. No foul of a shot.
We're losing Corey. Are you losing Corey there, Kachine?
Yeah, I didn't know if it was me or not because I'm getting close to my. Yeah,
Corey, your Wi-Fi's tripping out. I'm gonna bring Isaac in, and then hopefully Corey will be here in just a little bit. He's gonna join me, I think, in person here shortly. So let's go to Isaac, our good friend here that's actually at the Carver-Hawkeye Arena covering the game, talking to Jan. So Isaac, appropriate time to bring you in. How are you doing on this this sad afternoon?
Good enough. As good as you'd expect from me.
I'm just turning off my camera, but I'm listening. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Obviously, the 2 players that they brought in were Kylie and Hannah, and very emotional. Came in with tears in their eyes, and Jan a little bit too. Had to hold back from answering some questions too. Just like taking a moment or trying to gather and compose yourself. Kind of got a good recap from Jan and bridging she called it bridging the generations from Lisa, and just super complimentary to Hannah and Kylie and a lot of other players that have stuck around. Yeah, just a lot of criticism towards taking a bunch of shots and not making a bunch of shots, as you could imagine. But yeah, it was just tough to watch and be in that room with all those tears flowing. It being Kylie's last game, and I think Hannah's last game too.
Yeah, absolutely. And really, there will be coaching stuff. There'll be officiating stuff. We're going to cover everything, every aspect of this game. But I mean, the bottom line is the bottom line. You can't shoot 50% from the line, 17% from 3, and 37% from the field and win a tournament game, especially off the back of shooting 7% from 3 and making 1 3 against FDU. I mean, those are 2 of the worst back-to-back shooting games that this program has had in recent memory. And you're just, I mean, again, we can belabor all the points, and they're valid. I get it. They're totally valid. But, basketball is so much of a, if the ball goes in, the ball goes in sport. And there are times that the ball doesn't go in, and the ball did not go in when it needed to go in for Iowa tonight.
Yeah. And they brought up, I think 1 or 2 times out rebounding by 8, shooting 20 more shots than the other team. Like those are things that you want. You want to be able to get those boards and go get shots, get opportunities, but there's just, belabored. The point was way too many shots taken and not enough went in.
Yeah, absolutely. So Isaac, we'll talk about Jan first. Obviously, there's a lot of criticism out there when a team doesn't go as far as they'd like to go, especially as a 2 seed, when you don't make it out of your home arena to the Sweet 16. Just talk about her emotions, some of the comments she was made, any questions that she was asked that you found interesting, particular criticisms of her coaching job in the last couple of games.
Yeah, there's one question in particular where she took a good 30 seconds of just silence, just frustrated. She said, "This is what a week of no sleep plus being disappointed will get you." And so just kind of stopping in the middle of the question just to gather herself like the players. She said a couple of times, and she just reiterated in the same point, that since the first 5 minutes of the game was over. Having Ava getting 2 fouls within 5 minutes was, she described it as that was the game.
Yeah.
Which obviously from there you get 2 more. You got to play soft the whole rest of the time, and that's your identity as a team. So that was interesting and very interesting just to hear. I mean, it's not interesting to hear, but it's interesting to hear from a coach. Just to admit that and to bring it to just those first 5 minutes. That's all. That was all the game.
I'm gonna really hope Isaac is misquoting Jan Jensen, because if she said that, that's one of the most horrific post-game quotes I could ever imagine from a head coach.
No, I wrote it down.
No, I'm being serious. I'm being serious, Kachine. No, I'm serious. I'm gonna go back. I want to go back and listen to that. That's one of the most horrific things you could say. That because our big got 2 fouls in the first quarter, that was the game. I'm sorry, but I sure hope that was emotion or a misquote from Isaac. And Isaac is a pro's pro. He builds furniture. He is phenomenal at what he does.
So we're betting on the Jan Jensen emotion there. Yeah, I mean, I just to add to what Corey's saying there, I mean, I think it's fair to say that it throws you out of your rhythm. It throws you out of your routine. But yeah, that is a harsh quote.
But
anyways.
that's a crazy. That's I'm with Corey. That doesn't make any logical sense.
Yeah.
Like her getting 2 fouls, she's done that many times during the season. That's not why you lost. There's plenty of other reasons why you lost. Like Ava still ended up with over 20 points. Like that's not,
on reasons they lost. I think that does. I don't even know if that cracks the top 10.
It definitely doesn't.
Yeah.
She was emotional. That is true. Corey he's just popping in and out, says one little thing, and then we get to dissect it for the next 5 minutes.
And that's the fun thing about hosting this when he's doing that.
It's called I drop the mic and then I go. I leave on a high note. That's what I do, man. That's you leave on a low note. No, I'm kidding. You do a good job. Hey, by the way, did the NCAA feed you well today, Isaac?
They did. The fried chicken was fantastic. I think.
Oh man!
Out of the press conference.
See, they never do that. They never do that for regular season games, but because this is an NCAA game, I'm guessing the NCAA pays for all that stuff. So
that's
good
why
deal.
I sent Isaac today because I can't enjoy any of that stuff. So
no, Kyle's trying to lose weight. Yeah,
I'm trying to cut, so I smell it and then walk past it.
Oh, there goes Corey. Corey's gone.
Yeah, he's gone. He'll be back in a minute.
I had a cookie. It seems like one of those Hy-Vee just from a box cookie. It was fantastic.
Okay.
I'm not a cookie person, but that was incredible.
Yeah. Anything else from Jan?
No, just a bummer. A heavy room, especially after hearing the screaming of Virginia and their celebration before their part of the press conference. It was just heavy. It was just hard with the disappointment. That's something that obviously Jan's probably been disappointed many times in her life, as we all have, but as a coach, as a head coach, hasn't felt this as a heavily favored team to lose in March like this. So
any particular comments about the offense? I mean, again, we can, now that I've got the box score in front of me, we can talk about this. I mean, Kachine, again, as we've been talking about, basically had one burst in the third quarter. They had 25 points in the third quarter. The other 3 quarters, they had 13, 10, and 9. They had 32 points in 3 quarters against a 10 seed. The other night, they had 15 points in 24 minutes against a 15 seed. Mm-hmm. I mean, anything that she could provide on that besides shots not going in, or, I mean, feel free to chime in on anything that Hannah or Kylie had to say. I know they probably weren't women of many words tonight with what happened, but anything on that note that could give us any clarity from that perspective.
And again, Kylie and Hannah were 2 questions, and then everyone read the room pretty well. Like, get them out of here. No, the one other thing that I haven't said yet, and it goes along with the taking 20 more shots, but she was critical of Ava's 50%. Just shooting 50, because Jan is a post coach. She was just super critical of, not super critical, but she mentioned it and mentioned that she was critical of those percentages. There wasn't any specific X's and O's this post game
and that's unusual for Jan, because generally speaking, when I've been in that post game room, and you have too throughout the season covering games for us, like, she is usually a very good listen in terms of the X's and O's. She's a very smart basketball coach. I would say I'm a little disappointed in that comment from Coach about Ava. I mean, 11 for 22. She missed a few bunnies around the rim, but I mean, again, I just don't look at her as the problem tonight. Hannah was good too. I mean, the post was, it bothers me a little bit that there's not as much about the guard play. I don't want
to make too much of this, because I legitimately don't want to be unfair to Isaac here. I want to go back and actually listen to what she had to say, but I'm curious to go back and listen for a couple of reasons, because if the context of that comment was, Hannah really cost us, and I doubt it is, then you're kind of throwing your player under the bus. And if the context of the comment was, those were not good calls, she's wrong. Those were both fouls, and the first one was just unbelievably bad, 100 feet from the basket. You just can't pick up that early foul if you're a big, especially. And maybe she was just stating it as like that was consequential, but it's hard to kind of dance that line.
Yeah, and there was no complaints from me on either of those first two calls, Corey. I mean, I think you're right there with me. I mean, those were just, especially that second one was just dumb. Or the first one. The second one was,
yeah,
the first one was stupid. The second one was kind of in the flow of play. It was an and one finish, whatever. That stuff happens. But that first one, when she's 90 feet from the basket, you can't do that. Yeah,
and can I just ask a question here, because I'm getting closer here, Kyle. Just so you're aware, I know you're on a tight schedule as well, but I just wanted to ask you, Kachine, because this is so fresh, and I stood not in the tunnel, but I was above the tunnel in the press row area watching Hannah and Kylie, and I tweeted it out right when it happened. You got a bunch of players bawling their eyes out, and yet, like, Hannah and Kylie and all these players stuck around to sign all the young fans' shirts and give their autographs and whatnot. I just thought it epitomized Iowa women's basketball culture. So let's just spin this a second to everything that is good about the sport, specifically Iowa women's basketball. Can you just talk about how hard that is? Because you've been on that side of it where you realize you've played your last game at Carver and the emotions are high. Just talk about the culture but also like how hard that moment is.
Yeah, I think you really have to think in that moment that basketball is just one piece of life, right? And although your season is ending, part of you loving your time as a Hawkeye are the fans. So in that moment of vulnerability, should I say, you kind of have to put on your armor a little bit and still put a smile on your face, because those people paid to see you at the end of the day, and they still would like to, get their autographs or take a picture or whatever the case might be. It's the job you sign up for in that aspect. Now, some people cannot make that change, but from all my time of knowing Iowa women's basketball, I know both coaches make that a huge thing, no matter what it is. Even back in the day when we used to sign, I don't know if they still do it, but we used to sign autographs at the top with a long table, and everybody would have to come back, go all the way up those stairs, sit there and sign autographs for forever, et cetera. And some of those times you don't want to do it because, one, you're tired, maybe you got homework to do, whatever the case is, but that doesn't matter. And so, Iowa women's basketball in general, I can only speak for us, that's what I know, have always been upstanding women in general outside of the court.
Yeah, absolutely. And there is one thing that there's no question about, is that, fan support for this team is not going to be affected by one loss in the round of 32. I mean, that's that fan base in terms of women's basketball. I mean, I don't know what you think, Kachine. I think it's the best fan base in the country. Mm-hmm. And they will pack Carver next year for every game, regardless of this outcome, whether they got to the Final Four this year or with what happened. I mean, they have the fans' full attention and full support. It's the men, if anything, they're kind of begging for it to come back, and that certainly will happen with what happened last night. But
absolutely.
But yeah, there's no question about that. Hannah and Kylie are first-class people, first-class women. I've met both of them. They're both fantastic people. And what Jan's saying is absolutely correct. I mean, those were two players that played key roles in going to 2 national championship games and are bridging the gap, as she said, between one generation of Caitlin Clark, Gabby Marshall, and Kate Martin, to now this new generation of Chit Chat Wright and Ava Hayden and all the players that they have, Taylor Stremlow, and they've done that with grace. And Hannah, I think, as I think you alluded to earlier, Kachine, I mean, she really has stepped up her leadership. I mentioned it on the broadcast when we were on after the FDU game that Jan specifically shouted out in the post-game presser that Hannah was the one in that sideline huddle with 6 to 7 minutes to go in the game when they called timeout. And they went on that final run to finally put away FDU. Hannah was the one that was talking to the players and getting them engaged and getting them kind of ramped up for the stretch run. And so really, regardless of any criticism about their play, which is totally fair, and totally on the table, after a loss like this, you really can't go any further than that because they are first class people.
What I want to ask a question because you're talking about Hannah. Kachine, I want to ask you this, and then if Isaac, Kyle, you guys have opinions on this, feel free to share. But what is Hannah's legacy now that her career has finished? What do you think the legacy of Hannah Stuelke is 10 years from now?
Kachine?
I'm trying to see if there's a good person I can put that towards. Hannah's always going to be talked about solely because she played with Caitlin Clark. Those teams are always going to be talked about. It doesn't matter. But I don't think Hannah will be considered a great of Iowa. I don't. Yeah, that's what
like you're talking like Sam Logic.
Yeah, like when
you're
we talk
talking like
about
Sam Logic.
Iowa, yes.
Megan
how
Gustafson.
how fans always have those moments where it's like top 10, Iowa, whatever, or even if you do top 15, right? In those scenarios, she's not going to be on it. I don't think she's going to be on the Mount Rushmores of Iowa women's basketball in general.
I think she fits fairly comfortably into that kind of third tier when you talk about, Iowa basketball history. You got your top tier, which is your Caitlin Clarks, and then that second tier, which are your stars that maybe didn't win or players that did win that were key contributors but weren't stars. And then I think she's that third tier of a very, very good player with a nice mix of winning that was never a superstar.
Right. She was just, I say, a glorified like role player.
Yeah, she's a fourth option. And there's nothing wrong with that. But yeah, she's not a jersey retired player or anything like that.
Yeah, no. Hope that answers your question.
Isaac, anything else from that post-game presser? Anything from your experience today in general that you'd like to add? I'll give you the floor to kind of let us know anything that stood out to you that we haven't hit yet.
No, I'm sure you guys have the atmosphere, especially for the first 4 quarters and first overtime. I'm sure you guys have that atmosphere documented really well. A bit disappointing that a lot of the fans left. Maybe with a minute and a half to go, but I totally understand.
And some of them, by the way, left in that first overtime too. I was kind of surprised by that.
Yeah.
It wasn't a ton, but there were a few people headed at least to stand up at that upper deck at the end of overtime, and then a couple that hit the exits.
Yeah, and it's not like it's particularly late. I think I'd be the first person in this. Corey would say that I'm the first person in this arena to go to bed tonight. So if I'm still here, they can still be here too. No, nothing more.
Well, it's been a pleasure, Isaac. We appreciate you having covered several of these regular season games and then this NCAA tournament game. Obviously, a bummer that they lost, but appreciate your efforts and lots to talk about now with an off season. I'm sure you'll be a part of all that as we head into a new season next year.
Yep. Thanks, guys.
All right. Thanks, Isaac. All right, everybody. Well, let's press on. So much more to get to.
We ain't got no callers?
What's that? What's that?
I said we ain't got no callers. Nobody.
Oh, we do. We've got some callers. I'm gonna get to our call in line. We've got a few people that would like to speak with you. Let me add in James to the mix here, and we'll get started with our call in line. James, how you doing?
I'm as good as you can be.
Hold on, James. James, before you start, slow down on your talking. I'll be trying to listen. You be moving.
My bad. I talk fast.
I'll be like, wait a minute.
No, I talk fast. Sorry about that. First off, as good as you can be, I guess, you can't be as good in this situation. But I feel like there's just some things that are kind of questionable. Like Cash said, one thing I want to see them do too, I feel like would be cool to maybe see them do too, is instead of a lot of times they'll have the ball to the wing. They pass the corner and try to enter it, or they pass the corner, pass back to the wing and try to enter it. Why not pass it all the way across and have her come all the way back across and try to post up again? And maybe you like screen off of that. You have Hannah screen off of that. Like Hannah screen for her to re-roll and maybe screen off of it while you're passing it. So they pass it all the way across. Then you have her screen. Then she roll off the screen, right? And then she maybe even seals you back up again. But a lot of times it seems like we keep it on one side. We don't pass it to the other side and then try to go back that way with it, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I think you said it great in regards to the simplisticness of it. Like, if you're going to be one-dimensional, you got to be creative one-dimensional.
Yeah.
You can't be simple one-dimensional because then you become easy to guard.
Yeah, and it gets to a point where, like, if I can tell you what's going to happen, how can a D1 basketball coach at any level, if they're coaching D1, should be able to tell you what's going to happen, right? Like, if I can tell you what I was going to do, then it should be like any coach can pretty much tell you what they're going to do, right? Like, they're that one dimension that they get easy, right? They don't even really run much screens off of it, like I said, or try to even swing it. A lot of times it gets to one stop and just stops there, or one spot and just stops there, and it's like now you're either the pass is either there or the shot clock's running down. Then you have to throw up something, right? Like,
yeah.
Those
plays kill me. I can't get over that.
Yeah, and that last play in regulation too, like Kachine, everybody in that arena, I think, knew what was coming there, which was that Chit Chat was going to get a little, kind of a brush screen. It wasn't even a real screen, but gets the brush screen out to catch the inbounds pass, and then Ava goes and posts up, and it's like, again, it's just so simplistic. There's no, like you're talking about, James, there's just no deception. There's no, setups off the ball for the post entries. There's no off ball screening going on. It's just, it was depressing in some sense because, you feel smart sometimes when you call the play in football or you call the play ahead of time in basketball. But like late in the game, if you call the play of your own team, it's like, man, that's tough that we couldn't come up with something a little bit better than that to the point where people in the stands are predicting it.
Also, another thing I got, and I'm not trying to be critical of just bash and jam. But why did it seem like almost, not all, but a lot of the inbounds passes, especially when Strummer was throwing them, got tipped?
Yeah.
Right? Like, it seemed like most of them got tipped. Whether that's what they were running wasn't there. Like, I couldn't really tell what they were trying to run because it looked like maybe they would just try to run it, try to throw it to somebody, and then enter it back in again. But, like, it seemed like a lot of them got tipped, right? Like, and especially when Strummer was throwing. I don't know if they changed it up, but I just know Strummer, like, there was 3 or 4 times where the ball got tipped when she was trying to throw it in. One of them got turned. One of them was a turnover for a layup on the other end, right? And 2 of them, I think, went out of bounds on our side, right? Or one of them went out of bounds on the other side, whatever. But
that one that went for the other side, I don't know what the hell Kylie was doing.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what she was doing. So, but again, hey, it is what it is. Hindsight's 2020, like we said. But thank you.
It's Kachine, I imagine, and obviously it's infuriating to watch in the moment, but the film breakdown of this will be brutal for you and for Jan and everybody.
Sure.
As we have our special guest entering the picture.
Well, hello there.
Let's do this.
All right. Hey, is this mic going to be able to handle both of us?
I've never seen Corey in person. I've only seen Corey like right here.
Yeah.
You got to get back to Carver. You got to.
I know.
All right, what are we talking about now?
Well,
we still
depressing X's and O's with James. James, you got anything else
before James for calling in?
Yes.
Yeah. I was just going over how the passes were getting tipped a lot by Stremel throwing it in. Like, there was like 3 or 4 times where it got tipped. One of them was a turnover. 2 of them went out of bounds.
Yep.
Yeah. I don't know what to make of. What do you make of Stremel's game today? 5 points, 2 of 13. Like, was she as bad as the numbers show, or was it just like
no? She was bad.
She did give him 7 assists, 4 steals.
She was not good today.
They had a couple go in and out too that were unfortunate. One at the very end there, but
yeah. By the way, I got my my Luka Doncic.
Yeah.
Very nice
figurine. So
look forward to seeing that just hanging behind you on a thread or something.
Yeah.
But no, I'll let you guys get to other callers. It's just a little frustrating and annoying, the way they lost. And if you would have told me sitting here on a Monday afternoon that it'd be our night, whatever. The men's team would be the one in Sweet 16 and not the women's. I probably would have thought you were crazy. But
This
Crazy times.
result doesn't shock me, but the men's one did.
yeah. But I'm saying one of them being in there, I would have thought it would have been the women's, not the men's, especially having to play Florida. But
Don't you have a lesson to go teach?
Here, yeah.
Oh, it's here.
It's here.
It's out there.
I can sit here till the doorbell rings.
Oh my gosh.
appreciate you guys
Okay.
for the year. And obviously it didn't go the way we wanted, but that's what happens sometimes. You just hopefully we don't lose. I don't know what the portal's going to look like. You never know in this day and age, but it'll be interesting to see.
James, we appreciate you being here, sir, as always. Thanks for supporting the sport and supporting the show.
Uh-oh.
No, I think that was his sign off.
All right. All right. Well, unfortunately, we lost James there, but thanks for calling in. Was there anything you want to hit before we go to more callers? You haven't really had a chance to give us your uninterrupted takeaways.
I had like one note written and then I abandoned my notes. So it was basically, I mean, the 2 fouls on Hayden were consequential. It was 4.5 minutes into the game.
Yeah.
So I don't want to act like it wasn't a big part of that first half. It is. I mean, having to her lead the game, and then Layla Hayes came in and cashed. I mean, now we're at the end of the year. We can kind of start reflecting on some of these players. Layla Hayes really struggled latter half of the season. She came in, promptly traveled. And I don't know if you guys talked about the rotations and the lack of trust that Jan seemingly put in Addie Deal and then Layla Hayes.
Yeah.
Less than in any other game we've seen this year. And you could say, well, it's the stakes. They're higher. Second round of the NCAA tournament. Yes, but it's not like they're going 9-10 deep usually. Like they really didn't go to anybody besides Journey off the bench. Yeah. What do you make of that, Kachine, especially with 2 fouls on Ava? I know you're going to slide Hannah to the 5. That's the natural response, but you'd think maybe that results in a few more minutes for Layla, but she's not playing well.
They had Kachine. They had 300 available minutes with double overtime tonight, and they gave 19 to the bench out of 300.
Well, and that was forced because they fouled out.
Yeah. Journey got 14, Addie got 4, and then Layla got a minute.
Here's the thing. Outside of Journey, I wouldn't trust it either. That's the problem. I think Taylor, you know what's funny? Maybe Coach J had a point about Taylor McKay being Josh, whatever the hell it was, whatever that man's name was, right? Because Jesus Christ, one more extra person. One. Now you're shifting Stremlow off the bench. And then on top of that, you've got one of the best three-point shooters to wear the jersey at one. You know what I'm saying? Like, that changes so many things. I'm not saying Taylor was the greatest of all. I'm definitely not saying that. But for the team that we had, her importance was felt. And I think we were just stitching a Band-Aid over for the remainder of the season. Because, we ran Taylor for a while, right? And then she kind of hit a stoppage of some sort. Yeah. But we had nothing. You can't tell me y'all were like ecstatic to put Deal in. Like, no. You weren't happy to put Layla in. That's not it. Like, what do you as a coach? You have no options. That's the worst feeling in the world.
Yeah.
Well, can I just say something? I made the comment before you hopped on. I was talking to Tim Kachine. I want to get your take on it. So 2 days ago, I talked about roles and freshmen having a defined role and giving themselves the best opportunity to make an impact in year one. And some freshmen don't play in year one. I mean, Trey Thompson's a really good prospect who had opportunities to go to blue bloods like Purdue, Duke, Kansas. He's at Iowa, but he didn't play year one. So if you play year one, I usually, I know that they don't redshirt as much in the women's game, but that tells you that they think you can be impactful. What I have an issue with is, and whether this is more coaching, it might be more coaching than Addie, but to me, her role never got defined. And when Taylor McCabe went down, that was the opportunity to define Addie Deal's role. And we talked about it when it occurred. And when they went on that West Coast swing and, all of a sudden you insert Addie Deal into the lineup and, the social media stuff, like you making it probably bigger than it needs to be. We can be critical of that. We've discussed it. But I think the biggest thing was her role internally ever defined? Because to me, it doesn't appear that it was. Because if it was defined, then I would think it'd be very simple. You've lost Taylor McCabe for the season. Addie, you come in and shoot threes. We don't want you driving. We don't want you No, we want you coming in and learning from Taylor. I want you latched on to Taylor McCabe's hip the rest of the season. I want you to listen to every word. I want you to be a sponge. And I want you to hunt threes. Not force threes, but that's what you're in for to shoot threes. And to me, she shot threes. She jacked threes, but a lot of threes off the dribble. I don't think she learned how to run off screens and to get open as an off-ball guard. To me, that's what Iowa needed. They didn't need another ball handler. They have T-Strim. They have Chit Chat. Kylie handles the ball decently well. They needed somebody who could shoot threes. And frankly, 1 of 12 in the first half killed them tonight. You can't score 23 points at home in the NCAA tournament and expect to win. I mean, almost did, but I think that the lack of role there, and I think it was a missed opportunity by the coaches to instill in Addie confidence from behind the three-point arc that she's going to be able to use as her game develops in her career.
And to add on to that, Kachine, too, you can discuss this, take this whatever direction you want to take it. But how, like, in that situation, right, when you have a player with a very defined role go down and you have somebody else that you would like to see take their minutes who maybe doesn't have that role defined, how do you communicate to a player, especially like Addie Deal, who, I mean, I think you said this a couple of days ago, like, or somebody in Discord said, like, she's just playing like she's still in high school, like she's the number one option, like she's doing whatever she wants. She's lollygagging, around the floor with the ball. How do you communicate that, especially mid-season, to a player, without sounding like, hey, you can't do this or you can't do that? How is that role communicated and defined to somebody who's young like that?
So I'm only speaking for what I saw, not what I know. Okay. So I don't think that they reeled her in enough. Every coach on that coaching staff knew that Addie Deal was not up to par early. So reeling that in and not making her feel like, oh, you're a 5-star recruit and you've got to be like freshman of the year. Like, you knew that. So reel that in. There's my mom in the background, everyone.
My mom Anderson. Or Anderson. What am I saying? Anderson.
So for my thing is, like, again, and you guys know I have a real ick about how they handled that situation, with one, even starting her to begin with, two, the whole social media rollout. It just didn't. You're basically telling her, like, here, go be Taylor. Like, no.
Yeah, but there's but isn't there irony in there, Kachine? Because what they needed was for her to be a poor man's Taylor, and she wasn't even that. Like, stylistically, they didn't even make her that.
She was never going to be a Taylor. She can't shoot that well.
But okay, whoa, hold on a second. You're telling me you don't think the best thing she brings in year one is the ability to make open threes? I'm not encouraging her to shoot to Taylor's volume as a senior.
Yeah, but now we're saying I'm not running plays for her to shoot open threes. That's not happening. I don't think she's made them at a high enough clip for me to do that.
Well, she hasn't.
Taylor, we are legitimately running plays for her to score.
But that's what I'm saying. I think she's gonna. This is a hunch. But to me, she's going to get better looks at threes and shoot a higher percentage if that's her focus. Stop worrying
I'm not disagreeing. I'm just saying I would not have put it like I want you to be Taylor. This is what I want you to focus on. Simple facts. Don't do too much.
Yep.
I don't need you to try to make plays. I don't need you. I just need you to take the open shots that you are given. That's it.
I agree with you, Kachine. The only issue with it is that she never developed that off-ball game like Corey's talking about. I mean, she never had that ability to get open off the ball. It didn't appear that she was, cuffed to Taylor's hip or whatever, that was being taught to her. She was trying to create off the dribble, and she shot that horrible off the dribble 3 against FDU. That she just never developed that ability to create that catch and shoot shot without the ball in her hand.
I just want to real quick. I want to. This is going to sound like a broken record to some, but J.M. Ramsey still doesn't get it, and that's fine. I'm not ripping on him. You want to display that comment? He says, "What made Deal a 5-star recruit then?" This is just my perspective. My perspective on it is that she's a 5-star recruit because of what she can develop as. Some 5-star recruits, they come in right away, and I think, Kachine, you've said this, sometimes recruiting is not an exact science in general, but sometimes 5-star recruits come in like Aaliyah Chavez and is ready to make this great impact in a lot of different areas. But when the speed of the game affects someone to the extent that it's clearly affected Addie, that doesn't mean she's not a 5-star recruit. Yeah. But it means her 5-star potential is not ready to be seen
unleashed. Yeah.
And right now. And so the best way we can take advantage of what she is right now until she can develop more in the off season, to me, is to simplify her role and what we're asking her to do. A la Journey Houston, Tate Sage, any of the great freshmen in recent time, even Hannah Stolke, right, as a freshman. What was her job with Caitlin Clark? Run,
rebound and run
to rim. Yep, absolutely. Yeah. That's what I have an issue with. I just think I agree with you. Like, we haven't seen it, Kachine, to the point where I'm like, well, yeah, she can make up for Taylor McKay, but they needed some 3-point marksman. And today's a perfect example. They don't have anybody that is like someone they can even run a play for from 3. I don't even like, who do you run a play for?
Chit Chat is doing way too much to be that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Kylie is just not, she's not skilled enough.
Kylie is a defender. That's literally all she is. That's it.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's what I have to say on the Addie Deal thing.
She got to get in the gym in every aspect. I'm talking from shots to agility to being stronger in the gym, in the weight room.
A little bit quicker too would help.
She got to put in so much work. Like, she got to live in the gym. She has to. If she does not live in the gym, it ain't going to be much different than this year.
You want to hit some of these super chats?
Yeah,
Kyle,
I was going to get this. And then I'll have to probably dip out here in about 5-10 minutes. All right, so let's go to Cubhawk 1237. Says, is it just me, or are you also pissed that Jan shut down practice 45 minutes early so girls could go rest? Time to get up some extra shots or free throws. You can take that how you want to take it.
Pissed that Jan shut down practice 45 minutes early. When was this?
Yesterday. I think is what he's referencing.
I mean, hindsight's 2020. I understand the concept of wanting to get your players some extra rest when you're playing your second game in 3 days.
I would argue that having their legs underneath them would have been more important to their shooting than a few extra reps at the end of a long season. But
hindsight's 2020. Yeah. I think on a comment like that. Kachine, your thoughts on Cubhawks super chat here?
Happens all the time. And now, how long did they actually practice for? The 45 minutes isn't the problem. It's how long did they practice? Like, if they practiced for 30 minutes and then they was done, like, but if they practice for an hour, 15, okay. That happens all the time.
Yeah.
All right. Let's get to our other super chat. Mike Nunn 236. Golf guys ignored the chat, unlike Corey. We got a lot going on right now, Mike. I appreciate the super chat. In Canadian dollars again. Two Canadian dollars.
We got to highlight the fact that they're in Canadian.
We do have to highlight that. I also, since I've been accused of ignoring the chat, we're not going to ignore it right now. I'm seeing a lot of this stuff. Jan sucks as a coach. New coach. Jan was handed a Ferrari and she's slowly turning it into a Honda.
Real quick.
That's definitely not what?
Iowa women's basketball was never a Ferrari. The idea that
if she would have been handed Caitlin Clark, she could.
That's Ferrari is South Carolina. A Ferrari is
UConn,
LSU. There's only a few Ferraris. What she was handed was a tricked up Camaro. All right. But once that, I'm saying seriously, once that Camaro gets some miles on it, it just kind of fits in with all the other cars.
I don't even know if we say that, but go ahead.
Well, I'm just simply, okay. I mean, I'm sorry, you're a Chevy girl. I didn't realize that, but Nevertheless, no, I mean, this is reactionary stuff. People are frustrated. I get it. I don't think.
I just don't know that the biggest blame tonight's on Jan, though, out of everybody. I mean,
biggest blame. I mean, the buck stops with the head coach.
Well, it does, but I mean, they shot 50% from the free throw line. Like they shot 17%. They made 6 threes in 2 games against a 10 seed and a 15.
Here's the bottom line, Kachine. I want to let's address this because this was my comment during the game before they had lost. I did say, like, the guy sitting next to me, and appreciate his. He was so kind so as to let us sit in his seats today. He was talking about Iowa's offense, and I whispered to him during the game. I'm like, we all know this team is not advancing with this offense. As long as they're playing like they did today, like they did offensively today against UVA and against FTU the other night, they weren't beating TCU next round. No. I'd have been shocked if they beat. Now, maybe they came out next week looking totally different, but the way they've looked here of late, this offense has regressed.
So I'm going to say this I've always been upfront and blunt about where I feel like Jan has had some shortcomings, right? I've said it for this game. I've said it wherever. But we are not going to sit here and pretend like Jan and the coaching staff did not overachieve with this roster.
Yeah.
Okay. No way should this roster have finished second in the Big Ten, made it to the Big Ten championship.
Yeah.
Had been pretty much top 10 majority of the season.
Yeah.
I'll do top 12. Majority of the season. No way should they have done what they did.
Yeah.
So now, is there things we have to work on as a coaching staff? Absolutely. Never gonna, absolutely. In-game decisions, substitutions, last second shot play calls. Yes, there's definitely things we have to work on. This team was not more talented 1 through 10 than majority of the teams that we play.
I'll put this up too, because this goes to Kashine's point. They were picked to finish 7th in the Big Ten preseason.
I get it. Trust me. We're upset because we want, and I understand we're a 2 seed, and I know everybody in America knew that we was probably the weakest 2 seed. You know how we felt that Florida was the weakest 1 seed?
Yeah.
That they were the most likely to get upset.
Yep.
I know for a fact everybody thought that Iowa was the most likely to get upset. There's a reason. And again, I'm not taking that away from anything. What I will say is if we don't get our behinds in the portal and get exactly what we need, now I'm on the coach's behind.
Can I just ask a question? And I know Kyle's going to get out here, but did that 50-point loss to UCLA affect the offense these last 2 games?
I don't think so. Because our offense has always struggled.
But it hasn't struggled to this extent.
Yes, it has.
To this
Northwestern Indiana, that shit was terrible.
That
offense was horrible.
Okay, all right. That's fair.
Remember we were like, oh God, we were all nervous, like we're gonna have to get it back on track. Like we've had, and this is why I said before we played FDU and everybody was like, no, I'm not worried. I'm like, we have had situations where we have looked like the bottom of the Big Ten at times. Like we looked really bad. Our offense was stagnant. We couldn't make shots. We just looked all out of sorts. So I knew we've seen our capability when we're bad. And we've seen our capability when we're good. So for me, I was like, when we bad, we bad. Yeah. So with that and us being young, there's a lot of pressure that comes with that. I was like, okay, let's see what we do, of course. But I mean, let's call it what it is. We were not that talented. But our coaching staff got us to 2nd in the Big Ten. Without that, you're not getting nothing. So our coaching staff got us 2nd in the Big Ten. But what gets you in March is what is always going to get you. Your Achilles heel. We were never good in the guard position. We struggled all year. We talked about this. Our post players were always our best option. Well, when our post players and they played well, right? Like, forget the free throws for Hannah. The girl had like 19, 20 rebounds, okay? Like, they played well. High energy. Hannah gave us what she was supposed to give us. Ava, even on her 2 fouls, she was over 20 points. It's like, you got to have something else. You can't just have your 2 starting guards go 9 points combined.
No.
You can't. I don't care who you are. You can't do that.
in almost 100 minutes of basketball too.
What?
Yeah, they had
2 of 17 from 3, I think, or something.
Kylie Feuerbach and Taylor Stremlo had 48 and 49 minutes. They went 1 of 7, so they went 3 of 20 from the field and 2 of 17 from 3.
Well, then your one replacement is Addie Deal, who goes 0 of 3.
Yeah, like I what do you want? I get like I'm saying this because I'm not saying it's not their fault, because as coaches, you gotta deal with what you got, right? Like, you have to figure out a way to make the best out of what you have. And I don't think they were great at that, right? But in this scenario, what the heck was she supposed to do? Nobody was hitting a shot. Nobody, I mean, damn. Like, at this point, you playing. You got the deck stacked against you. And I have to give credit where credit is due. I never thought that we would be a 2 seed, more or less finish second in the Big Ten.
Yeah. All right, everybody. That's going to have to be it for me. I'll let Corey and Kachine take it from here. But Kachine, just want to say it's been a pleasure. Another season in the books. Been fun having you on. I'm sure we'll talk in the off season, get some off season content made. Corey, same as well. But just want to say thank you to everybody. It's been great fun. We've got one more men's game at least on Thursday night. Hopefully more. Maybe next weekend as well.
I did book my flight to Houston.
You did? Okay. Well, there you go. That's there's an exciting update for everybody. Corey Browda going to Houston. Hopefully.
Not hopefully.
Is media credentials?
Yeah, they got approved as well.
Good. All right. Well, there you go. We got media credentials on Thursday and maybe another game on Saturday, possibly as well. So lots to look forward to. It's been quite a ride. Appreciate the fan base from men's basketball and women's basketball. Been incredibly exciting with the resurgence of the men, and obviously a always passionate fan base from the women. So thank you, everybody. It's been a pleasure, and we will see you in the fall for women's basketball again.
We'll do this the old-fashioned way as Kyle gets
Yes.
on. Take his replacement. So forgive the bit of a sloppy transition here, but it is what it is. So, okay, a couple things. We got a couple people who want to chat, and I know that we've had some people on the phone for a little while.
Can you yourself?
What? What's the issue?
Close the window.
Close the window? What window?
Yeah, look at the screen. Like, why are you so like? Why is your screen so big?
Oh, I see what you're saying. Oh,
Yeah.
not that window. My bad.
It's like
It was.
the
I
whole
get it.
room.
I got so used to seeing it that way. I was getting.
I
used to it.
know.
I was getting used to it. Oh, look at this. Oh man, our guy VMS with a little bit of shawarma sauce, hot sauce, and cinnamon apple hot sauce. Interesting. He's a hot sauce connoisseur, so we have to try some of this stuff. All right. Very cool. All right. I'm gonna have to get used to the whole setup here.
Yeah, you're all over the place. It's fine.
Bear with me. But Mike has got a super chat. I don't know if we addressed this earlier, but he says Cash nailed it all season long. Not a top 10 team. Then we lose to a 10. She knows ball. I knew we were done once Feuerbach and Ava fouled out. Good job, ladies. Who takes over the leader's role? When they fouled out, the game basically was over. So
For sure.
But who takes over the leadership role? It's a great question from Mike Kachine. I would have to say it should be Chit Chat Wright as your lead guard, who will be a junior next season, along with Ava Hayden, who will be a junior next season. Is there a chance it's anybody other than those two? Is it Taylor Stremlo? Is it, who else could it be? Is it Addie Deal? I don't know who are the other options, unless you get somebody out of the portal that all of a sudden latches on to culture.
That's always true. I've seen that happen before. Somebody who is a natural leader comes in and just assumes that role. I think it depends. I don't think you can really put a finger on it per se. It just
depends on how your team shakes out as far as who's on the team, etc. I could see it being Stremlo. I could see it being Chit Chat. She's more of a quiet leader than a vocal one, so those are always kind of hard. So yeah, I mean, honestly, who knows?
Good question though from our guy Mike. And
Thanks, Mike.
Yep, absolutely. And then we got another one from Mike here. So you missed earlier one praising Cash. So yes, 10 Canadian bucks.
We got you, Mike.
appreciate
Don't
that.
worry.
Thank you for being here. How about this? Roderick, South Carolina is not a Ferrari. Only LSU, Texas, UConn are Ferraris. Really? Is that?
I know you ain't put LSU and Texas in there.
That's
And well,
over South Carolina.
LSU over South Carolina is wild.
That is wild.
They've won one national championship.
Let's see here. Well, Eli. Corey doesn't know a blankety blank thing about ball. My boy Geno's does, though. Get him on.
I don't know who Geno's is, but he can call in.
It's Eli trying to fool us. Eli, we know it's you, bro. Come on now. You got a big E in the middle of your circle, but go ahead and tell us what you know about basketball. I'm sure you'll enlighten us. Wow. Well, that was the most profound impact we've ever had from a caller on our show ever. So I'm so happy we tried to take Eli, aka Geno's, call, and he's gone. Okay. Whatever. I guess we'll move on. We've got a couple of people. We've got one on our phone line, our 515 caller. We got one person on there. Please hang tight if you're waiting. We got Corey in here who has been waiting patiently to get on the show. Before we take your comments, Corey, I have to give a big shout out to Big Grove Brewery. Corey knows all about Big Grove, right? Corey, Big Grove is the place to go, man. BigGrove.com. Check out their locations in Iowa City, Des Moines, Cedar Rapids, Solon, brand new location in Omaha. It's all delicious. And their Easy Eddie is an easy drink for game day or any day. They're also the official watch party headquarters of the Hawkeyes. Visit BigGrove.com to learn more. Corey, welcome to the show.
Weird.
Hi. I've never been there, but I've heard good things.
That's not what you say after a promo, but go ahead, Corey.
I just don't live close. That's basically
okay. It's all right. You'll get there.
Basically, I've had the whole season to kind of soak in both these teams. Been pretty busy this year, so I haven't had time to get on. But it's good to see you guys again.
I wish it was under better circumstances.
I do
we are
as
here.
Well. I do as well. But I finally got here. For all considering what the team was for the women, I mean, I think they got out of this season what they could, to be quite honest. I think they exceeded my expectations for what they had, how young the team was, what they were building, what Jan's building, and I think she did quite well with what she had, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I think Cash and I both agree with you. I mean, if you look at it from a perspective of like where they ended up in March, they should have advanced past, like, this was an upset. They should have been in Virginia at home, and they should have been in the Sweet 16. Technically, they should have made the Elite Eight because they would have been the higher seed against TCU as well. But holistically, if you go back to season start to now, absolutely, we agree with you.
Yeah, I mean, but that's why you play the game, and I think someone said it earlier, but I think something happened in that UCLA game that just, I think, crushed their confidence. Something happened. They play different.
It's just a theory. I mean, Cash kind of shut that down. The only thing I'd say about that, Cash, is they were playing better offensively right before that. That's my point. Like, remember, they played really well against Illinois and Ohio State. I mean, I had to go back and look at their offensive numbers. But to go right back to how they were playing in January, to me, is a big shift after that 50-point beatdown. And that's what they did. They went back to playing how they
you're right. I won't take that off of a thing. I mean, that could very well be right.
Corey, how's the doggy doing?
Good. I don't know where. I think he's taking a nap. I mean, I could try this.
Long day of cheering for his Hawks. So
we were hooting and hollering last night. I think I scared him a little bit because I got excited for the guys last night because I think I love what Ben's doing on the guys' side. And
amazing. Yeah, can we? Have we gotten Cash's comments on the game? Can we just shift for a second since the men have made history to make the Sweet 16 since '99?
Oh, I'm ready.
I was 3 the last time that happened, so this is great.
Let me tell y'all something. So, as y'all know, well, I was on my second date, and
With the guy that
with the
infected
flu
you,
guy.
the guy that infected you with the influenza.
So we were watching the game, and
You ain't napping. Come on.
I felt like Iowa had a legit shot to win before the game started. Right? I don't know. I think me and Corey had talked about it before. Like, if there was ever a 1 seed we were coming up against, Florida was the one I would prefer. Right? So I'm like, okay, I feel good about this. Like, I feel really good about this. I'm over there yelling in these people's establishments, running around the place when we hit the shot. Both me and my date yelling. He became
Wait a
Iowa
minute.
fan at this point.
So was your date? It was your date cheering for Iowa because you played at
Hold on,
Iowa?
Pause. No. So we had a bet because he said Florida by 15. I said, okay, bet. I'm all for betting, right? I feel good. So we were betting. By like the second half, he like low-key started cheering for Iowa because of like how like intense the game was. And by the end of it, he was like, you know what? I want them to win. So I ended up winning the bet, which I love that for me.
And you won him over. You won him over.
Yeah, at this point, he's an Iowa Hawkeye. So
The question is, the real question, did you win his heart over?
I mean, I guess we'll find out. But it's
I had to ask.
like, honestly. So, but I was so proud of the men. They were so tough, like what you would consider Iowa people to be. When I say that, I mean this with everything in me. Iowa people, from my experience, are great people. They care about people. They're hard workers. They do the right thing. Like, just people, my time being there. And I felt like that team embodied what I was about, right? Like, in general, they were the toughest team I would never have thought in that scenario. Just looking at the lineup, I was like, okay, this is big people on this team, right? So, but they fought tooth and nail. And then I cannot believe they let Bennett Sturts catch that ball on a run and you're trailing. So here's my thing. All right. I watched the post game because I was very curious because the guy was a douche the whole time. So I watched the post game and I wanted to see what he had to say.
Yeah.
And he said that their plan was to foul.
Right.
So if your plan was to foul up 2 and put us at the line, the last person you would want the ball in their hands is Bennett Sturts. He's our best free throw shooter. So why would you let him catch the ball? Like, and then you had somebody on the inbounder. Why would you have somebody on the inbounder? That makes no sense. You're up 2. Get the inbounder off of them and then kind of sandwich, if that makes sense, Bennett, etc. So there's no long balls. But I mean, I'm happy they did it. It doesn't even matter. I was literally screaming the place down because I was so happy. Just because, man, in Ben we trust, man. I've been saying this since day one. He is a fantastic coach, and he is going to get Iowa back on track. I love that for him. And I think that helps him in recruiting. Just saying.
I think it doesn't hurt. Yeah, it doesn't hurt. And I'm just curious, can I get your thoughts on the Fulgaris drama mid-game?
He didn't throw a punch. That was stupid.
Yeah, what was he doing? Can you weigh in on that?
No, okay. So
what was he doing?
So he was trying to punch the ball out. Like, if you're throwing a punch, you're not aiming for the ball. Like, let's call it.
No, I agree. He
right?
would have punched the guy if he wanted to punch the guy.
Right. You understand what I'm saying? Like, if he was trying to throw a punch, bro, he's not aiming for the guy's stomach because the ball's right there. Doesn't make logical sense. So now my assumption is that he had one arm in here like this. And he was trying to go like this to get his hand on the top of the ball. And I'm like, he didn't connect. He didn't do anything. He's not actually trying to punch the guy. Like, y'all have seen punches thrown.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like he was far. He wasn't going to not miss. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we were on top of each other.
Right.
So I was like, okay, guys, come on. Like, okay, if you want to do the technicals, fine. I like the double technical because he did throw him to the ground. So there's that. But the rest were missing so many things. Like, they were beating us up. Like, hitting us in the back, pushing us in the face. It was crazy. But yeah, I didn't think it was that crazy. I just don't. Now, I will say that after watching it a few times, I realized what was happening. Because at first I was like, did he just throw a punch? But it was because you saw the motion, right? But you didn't really see the where he connected or didn't connect or scenario.
I'm just
until they slowed it down.
I'm so happy the officials didn't. I mean, if they had decided to throw him out, and I could have at least seen, like, if they interpreted it a certain way, they could have done that. Had they done that, the game's over. They're not winning.
Yeah, I don't. That was
I really do believe that. As great of a coaching job as Ben did. So, anyways, Corey, anything else? You are muted. Let's get you
You're
unmuted.
muted somewhere.
Here we go.
Oh, can you hear me?
We got you. We got you now.
I say, during that whole thing, the announcers were, I think, being homers, and they're just like, I threw a punch, he hit his chest, and I'm just like, no.
Yeah.
Like, if you played any level of sports, I mean, football, basketball, he's trying to punch the ball out. He's trying to grab it. He's trying to wrestle.
Yeah, I don't.
I concluded in 5 minutes what it took him, what felt like 15 minutes plus commercials.
They had to get it right.
Oh, double technical. All right, play on. Let's get over this. They're both hustling, going for the ball. Like Ben said, what are we being sensitive about? We're playing basketball. Play on.
Oh, that was
that was an all-time quote.
Somebody
I about
gotta put that
lost
on
it.
the shirt.
I about lost it. I'll buy that shirt. I will personally buy that shirt.
Somebody has
put
to
it on the
shirt.
Hawkeye the Storm store. I will buy that shirt.
That was hilarious.
We'll work on it.
That man's out, and then we got sensitive.
Get it done, Corey. Get it done.
He wasn't lying though.
What did you think of the Florida coach Golden? As soon as he sees the replay and he thinks he sees a punch, which again, if like that shows how I understand emotions are running high, but to be that hot-headed in the moment to where you obviously saw it once, and then he literally flails out of his huddle and starts walking towards the yelling effing mother bleep.
Yeah.
It's like
why would you do that?
To me, that deserved a technical. And I get like Ben kind of he gave it back to him, so you probably would have had to give those two guys double techs. If Ben doesn't do anything, it should have been at least a technical on.
Ain't no way you finna MF my team and I ain't saying nothing back.
Right.
What? Yeah, no,
right.
absolutely not.
And after all, the Florida guy started it all.
Corey,
it was after the whistles.
Can you put the phone number to call in the chat, please?
It was like a hip tackle. He literally just, he started it all. There's gonna be an equal, there's gonna be an equal reaction to everything.
Yep.
We are going to the Sweet 16, you guys. Like that is, we may go to the Elite Eight.
The fact that you're
it's
so
very
excited,
possible. It's very possible. It's very possible.
The fact that you're so excited about this as a former Iowa women's basketball player who has also observed Iowa women's basketball teams make national championship games makes me that much happier.
It's honestly, I was thinking about it all night. I was like, this is first year head coach. I mean, we done went through some stuff, right, in the men's side to the point where when nobody showing up, it was a lot, right? We went through a lot, right? So, and I love Fran, okay? So, but this is exactly what the men's team needs.
Yep. To
take the next step, right? Because how many people, no matter what happens in the next game, ticket sales are going to be up automatically for next season.
Correct.
Because of this.
Yep.
Not to mention your recruiting, everything. Like, he's already proved that he's a winner.
Yeah.
With D2 players and Drake players. Like, he is a winner. And I know people are going to see that. So, I'm excited, man. I'm invested.
Corey, we appreciate you being here, sir.
Absolutely.
We'll hope to talk to you after another miracle win. I say miracle win because beating Nebraska is not a miracle win, but to get to the Elite Eight would just be unbelievable. But regardless, to get to the Sweet 16 is
Sweet
special.
16 rivalry game, round 3.
And there are still accomplishments that this women's team made this year. We'll reflect on those in the coming days.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
thank you, Corey. Appreciate you being
You
here.
guys
sir.
have a good one.
You too. All right. We got, let's see, a couple comments coming in here in the chat. BD Glosserart, if I'm pronouncing that right.
Did you put the number in the chat? I don't know.
Yep, we just added the number, I believe. Yep, we just added the number. I put it up on the screen long enough. I think
okay, good.
We should be good. Catching up on the conversation, Jan was handed a Subaru that had been driven hard by an F1 driver for 4 years, but got out and left it on the side of the road. The engine's still hot.
That's actually really funny.
It's going down the rabbit hole a little bit, but that
hilarious.
is okay. All right. We are going to, let me see if I can get our next caller. We've got like 4 devices I'm trying to manage here. So let's see if we can get our next caller on. Maybe, maybe not. Okay, I think whoa.
Hello?
Let's try that again. All right, caller, I think we have you on the air with us. Welcome.
Hello?
Yes, you're with us.
This is Paul.
Hi, Paul.
Just a couple thoughts. I don't know about most of the people who call in, but the reason I watch Iowa Hawkeyes basketball is for entertainment. And obviously, the men are still entertaining me. The women have definitely entertained me this year. I don't expect them to go undefeated. I expect them to go up and down and just go through the travails of learning how to become better basketball players and adults. And, that's what I see when I watch, especially the women, because I had 3 daughters. I'm kind of, prone to give them a little more slack.
Okay.
One of the things that totally made this season more interesting was Miss Wright. I think that I can't imagine what the team would have been without her. And every time I watched her, I was just delighted. And my big concern right now is I heard recently, I think maybe on one of your podcasts, that Jan was having to sit on her trying to get her to actually be aggressive shooting.
That was 2 days ago.
Yeah, and that makes me worried that there's some youth issues there. And her missing those free throws today, I'm sure she was crushed. And I know they don't listen to this probably, but somehow I think everyone needs to be so positive about that young woman because she is extraordinary. And I know it didn't work out for her today, but I just worry about her, coming away from this with some negative consequences that are going to hinder. I listened to a podcast sometime back about it was called "What Caitlin Clark is Afraid of." It was a Pablo Torres podcast, and the writer that had followed Caitlin was talking about all of the stuff that Jan and Lisa and Julie Fitzpatrick and Kate Martin did with Cece to get her to psychologically mature. And I'm just hoping that they give all that same effort to this young woman because to me, she's a star. And I just want to make sure this is, I'm really worried about her right now. As far as the season's concerned, it had to end sometime I'd like Cash. I think they performed up to their possibilities, if not beyond. I don't have a problem with Jan Jensen. She's probably learning too a little bit, even though she's been in the game for so long. And I think people that are passively aggressive about her on the chat need to ask themselves, if not Jan, who? I don't think Pat Summitt is going to be reincarnated in somebody that's going to walk onto the Iowa campus. And if you want Gino Auriemma,
He's
please
not okay. Yeah.
focus all your attention out in Connecticut, because you can have that egotistical ass as far as I'm concerned. Now, if Coach South Carolina, that's a little different story. She's a little more my.
Well, neither of those coaches will ever coach at Iowa, so you don't have to worry about that.
I'm glad about that. And one last thing regarding the men's game the other night. I was watching you after the game and I fell asleep at like 10 o'clock.
Okay.
And I woke up at 12:30 and you guys were still babbling on and on.
Amen.
And I just want to make sure that I've listened to 2 or 3, broadcasts, and I never heard anybody say anything about Tavian Banks. And as far as I'm concerned, Alvarado hit the winning 3-point shot. Tavian Banks carried that team on his back. He scored 20 points. He was aggressive. He was like he was back when he had 30 straight free throws. And I didn't see anybody giving him any flowers, even in the press conference with
real quick,
the coach and Sturts and Alvarado and him. Not that I didn't hear one question for him about how great he was.
Yeah, I watched.
And I hope you guys talked about that.
He was our player of the game.
All right, I fell asleep too soon.
Yep, you were sawing logs when that happened. He was our player of the game, and I watched the same press conference. I mean, I understand to a point why a lot of the questions were to Bennett, because Bennett is the face of the team, and then Alvaro hit the game-winning shot. So I mean, but you're right. I mean, between those two, big parts of this, he was the oil for the gears, so to speak. He was phenomenal, and he's got to bring that level of physicality on Thursday.
Well, I'd like to say one thing. Cash, you're a beautiful young woman, and I appreciate all your inputs today. Corey, I've disagreed with you in the past, but you're pretty straight too.
All right.
So anyway, have a good evening and thanks for everything.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate
Thank
the call.
you. Corey,
Good
why did we
stuff.
coming for you like that?
All right. Say that again, Cash.
I said, why did we coming for you like that?
I don't know.
They be like, I mean, you're great too, but
That was good. That was good. All right. Let's
Next
see.
caller.
Next caller. Yep. We've got several people here waiting. So
What's several? Like over or under 5?
I only see 2 right now.
Oh, that's not that much. Go ahead.
Oh,
Knock
and
it
then
out.
we'll wrap this thing up. So yeah, let's Lomansky, I'm going to give you the floor for a few minutes because Lomansky's been waiting for more than a few minutes. Lomansky, welcome to the show, sir.
Well, I just want to tell you both, you brought a lot of joy this season, and you should be proud of that. Corey, if you would indulge me, I see you as Lisa Bluter.
Oh, so she was sitting right. Hey, she was sitting. I could have high-fived her several times. She was in the row right behind us with her husband. So,
So you didn't talk to her because you're bashful.
No, I would have liked to have gone up there and talked to her. I talked to several people that Cash knows, and several people who were in our Discord. We had, literally, Gary Barta was sitting 2 rows beneath us. We had Evan Braun's mom in our row. We had, in the row beneath us, we had Abby Stamp's parents. We had, so we were real close to like everybody. Beth Getz was literally on my left shoulder. She was sitting next to Lisa. So yeah, it was, but anyways, it was a cool group of people to be there. I appreciate the the offer to get us to the game. I say us, it wasn't just me. So, anyways, go ahead, Lemansky.
But you're the head coach from the Hawkeye of the Storm. You're the Lisa Bluter of the.
Well, no, I'm the AD. I'm the Gary Barta of from the Hawkeye of the Storm.
You don't have
You know what? Can I just say this? Gary Barta is still like very present. Like I ran into him. I run into him everywhere, Kachine. He was. I tweeted it out last summer, Lemansky. I ran into him. I saw him at the Justin Moore, Joe Nichols country concert in Cedar Rapids. He was singing along to Tequila Makes Your Clothes Fall Off. So I saw him there, and then I ran into him in the same elevator. I was talking to Anthony Herron at the Big Ten tournament last week, and all of a sudden, here comes Gary Barta into the elevator, and he took over the conversation with Anthony, which was fine. And then I saw him today. He was 2 rows beneath me. So he's still very, very much a part of this. Whether you like it or not, Lemansky, he's very much a part of this.
I felt bad enough after the game. I don't need to bring Gary Barter up when I call in.
You know what? Several people in our row, the group we were with, they know Beth just because they're right there in the same section as Beth, and they gave her a big handshake and told her, Beth, you made a great hire, and she smiled and agreed.
But you're not the AD because you don't have total control of this show, which is evident.
No, Kachine has total control.
I have no control over the show. I just talk.
Kachine.
I am the mouthpiece of the show.
She's the mouthpiece,
which makes you the Caitlin Clark of Corey's Lisa Bluter. You're the Caitlin Clark.
Okay.
Kyle is Kate Martin.
Why can't she just be Kachine? Can't she just be Kachine? I mean,
I'm talking to you, so you get some kind of bearings on what the hell's going on over there.
All right.
And Isaac, who I adore, you got him coming off the bench. He needs more playing time. You bring him on, and then you go talk the whole time. But poor Isaac kid.
Hey, Isaac had to go recover from all that food and all those stairs at Carver. So.
But he drives miles and miles and miles and doesn't give any air time.
He does not drive miles and miles and miles. He lives in Coralville.
Well, that's miles and miles to me. That depends on your perspective.
All right.
I'm going to take a 30,000 mile view from the top, Kachine. I've said this before, but I'm going to say it today. Jan has inherited what she inherited, and we had to go to Lucy to the portal. What a great get. She had lots of experience playing basketball. She hit the accelerator late in the season. We went in the portal and got chit chat. So you've got the post with experience, except Ava's she's a beast. She's a home run hitter. But we do not, and you said it, I think the day I wanted to say it, you beat me to it, which is kind of par for the course, which I don't have to call in, but I have too much fun talking to you both. We do not have power outside the paint. And so my expectations have been met. I think if you really, as time passes, the judgment, I don't want to say your judgment, the analysis, I don't want to use the word judgment. The analysis of Jan is in here year 3. She got 3 of her own recruiting years. She's only had 2 of her recruiting years. And I guess if anybody would tell me that Lisa Bluter, and I'm not throwing stones at Lisa, I'm not, but I'm trying to be in reality. The cupboard was not that full. I mean, it was sort of full, but there's a lot of work to do in her first year. So I think the analysis of Jan is year 3, not year 2, not year 1. What do you think?
Like, what are you asking me?
Sorry about that.
Oh man!
Hang up on me, Corey.
I got the year 3. I'm like, are you asking me what I feel like? What my analysis?
He's playing chess over there. Look at
No, I'm looking at the stats. I'm looking at the play-by-play. I'm listening. I promise, Lemansky.
I guess I'm I'm feeling the vibration of the Jan talk all season,
Mhm.
and I don't. She had so many livers to pull, and this is year 2, and I don't think the cupboard was fully stocked from Lisa, and I think Lisa knew it.
Yeah, that's why she left. Duh.
Well, I didn't want to say that, but I'm glad you said
Yeah,
that.
listen, let me tell you something. Lisa Bluter is a smart woman. She left and retired on top. But yeah, no, I'm leaving when I'm up here. But I think this off season and next season to me is Coach J's telling point, in my opinion. Because one, we have a lot of open scholarships. And a lot of work can be done in those scholarships. I felt the last 2 seasons, we didn't have a lot of wiggle room. Like, it was kind of like, okay, we have to get this, but then we didn't have like a plethora of spots, in my opinion. I feel like now you know exactly, Ava, you know what you got with Ava for 2 years. You know exactly what you got for her. You know exactly what you got from Chicha for 2 years. When you have bigger holes, I feel like they're easier to fill.
Journey for 3. Journey for 3. God
but
bless her.
They know their guard that's a problem. If you don't get anything, and it's crazy how tides have changed. If you don't get anything, you need guards. If we don't get a 4, okay. But we have to get some guards. So I'm very curious. Personally speaking, I think we need a point guard too, but that's not here nor there.
You'd like Chad at the 2, wouldn't you?
No, I like Chit Chat at the 1, but
Okay.
Chit Chat can't play 40 minutes.
Yeah, you and I both agree. Yeah,
and she can play the 2 because she's a good 3-point shooter. So I'm good with that. Like we can play her at the 2 and have her run off some things, but they need 3 guards. They need a point guard. They need a sniper, and they need a big guard. That's what they need. And then I'll take a 4. I'll take a 4 too. Like that's what I want. I want to see a stretch 4, a PG, a sniper. Okay, you get that from anywhere. Hell, give me a sniper from D2. I don't give a damn. Give me a sniper. Okay, somebody can knock it down. And then they need a big guard. They do. So for me, I mean, obviously, I would like one of those players to be like a superstar, but we ain't gonna go that far. So, and a 4 player, like that's it. That's what I need. So I want to see. I think this is gonna be the test because the last 2, it was kind of like remnants of Bluter. You know what I'm saying? And we filled a gap with Lucy. That's great when we did that. And now we had this team. Like I want to see what she comes up with this portal and next season. Then I'll have a real. I'm gonna give her one more season.
Real quick, I just want to give a shout out. Player of the game today was Hannah Stulke with 15 points, 7 to 12 from the field, 19 rebounds, almost hit 20. And the question
Did
here,
you ever have 20 rebounds in a game? I'm curious.
Well, Nelly wants to know how close was Hannah to get to getting your rebound?
Yeah.
How close was she to your rebounding record? Is this a single game record you have, or?
I'm assuming they're talking career because I think she was close. I only played 3 seasons. I don't know how many seasons she played, but
okay. Hey, great. That's Lomansky. That says it all. And also, Big Grove's big play of the game gave it to Hannah Stulke because she had a big layup that put them up 6 with under 4 to go in the 4th quarter. I had a hard time picking the play in this game, but boy, you felt like when that layup went through off the Strimlow assist, you're like, okay, they can. They were playing such good defense, right? They held UVA to 51 to that point, but then they gave up 6 straight to end regulation, and that was what did it. Of course, they had a chance to win in the first overtime, and by the second overtime, the ship had kind of sailed. But that's Big Grove's big play of the game. Hannah Stulke's layup with under 4 minutes to go in the game put Iowa up 6.
What
Anything else, Lomansky?
She matched Megan's 19 rebound. Brandon, is that in the NCAA tournament? Is that what he's saying?
Maybe single game?
That in the NCAA tournament. Is that what he's saying?
Is that not that's probably a record for the program. Have there been 20?
I don't know.
Plus?
I had 21. You crazy.
Okay, you need to calm down.
I'm just wondering, like, is that NCAA tournament? Because
no, that's probably
NCAA tournament. Like, that's crazy.
Oh, NCAA record. Yeah, okay. I don't know.
Yeah, that's wild.
I don't know what Brandon's talking about there.
Especially playing like, woo. Kudos to him. 19 boards is crazy.
That is.
For like an NCAA game. That's because I'm not saying other games don't mean more, you know what I mean? But like winning those games are hard. So to end up with 19 in a game like that's dope.
Yeah, we'll add those 6 assists on for Hannah Stolke's resume tonight. That is impressive. So 19 rebounds, 6 assists for Hannah Stolke tonight. Lomansky, anything else before we let you slide?
Corey, where do you get off to tell Cass to settle down?
It's just my nature. She's not going to listen. She doesn't have to listen.
Okay. Well, you know, I think your show is fantastic. I will leave you with this thought, Corey. And it's a deep one.
Okay.
I've thought about it not a long time. But if Cash can work with you in this format, I'm sure she can have a third date with this guy that we hear about. That's my firm thought.
Does he know you do the show, Kachine?
Who?
Blue Man.
He's watching right now.
He's watching right now.
Did you hear what I said, Cash?
You didn't have to say that. You sell them out quickly, man.
Listen.
Wow, you sold them out fast.
If you can't listen, it's hot in the kitchen now. If you can't handle the heat now, you gotta get out of the kitchen, Corey.
Cut me off after this, Corey. Cut me off after this. Pressure is a privilege, especially when you're dealing with Cash. It's a privilege.
Pressures make diamonds or they burst pipes. Like, you know?
Absolutely.
Flu Man is crazy. Y'all got it. We gotta figure it out.
Flu Man. Flu Man. He's a superhero. He's Flu
Man.
Y'all
are funny.
All right. I am going to see. Let's see. I don't think we have anybody. Okay, so we've got 2 calls on the phone line. So let's see if we can again. I'm managing. Literally, I have 4 screens in front of me because Kyle is. I don't know how he does that, but that's literally what we're managing here. So let's see if we can get our caller on. We'll add our next caller to the phone line. Thank you for calling Iowa Postgame with Kachine Alexander. Who's on the line?
Hello?
Hello?
Oh, can you hear me?
We got you.
Okay. This is Scott. I'm from Knoxville, Iowa. How are you?
We're doing all right. How are you?
Thank
I
you.
appreciate you saying Knoxville, Iowa, because Kachine thinks Knoxville automatically means Tennessee.
I heard it tonight. Yeah, we're the Frank capital of the world, I guess.
Yes.
Huge admirer of Kachine. Watched her play the whole time she grew up in Iowa. Been a huge Hawkeye fan my whole life.
Oh, awesome.
I only have a few things to say. Been watching you guys for most of the season. I think the coaches did a really good job this year with what they had. Ava's going to be an extraordinary player, and she's almost there now. Some of the younger guards are very athletic. You can watch them when they play. And I know some of them aren't very well liked at the moment, but they are very talented. And I think the next few years look very bright. But I think this year they completely overachieved all year, in my opinion, for what they had. So take it as you want, I suppose.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you would probably agree with everything he just said, right, Cash?
Agreed.
And you're
Addie, when you watch Addie the way she moves, she doesn't look that quick, but some of her passes are almost to the next tier already. The game of speed of the game is just too fast for her right now.
Agreed.
She's going to develop a darn good player. And I've watched Emily Rodriguez play, and she is extremely talented, very gifted athletically. Well, that's just what I have, I suppose. I've kept my mouth shut all year just listening. So,
Well,
the coaching staff, in my opinion, has done a tremendous job with what they had to start with at the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
Honestly.
I think it's one of those situations where, you know, the sting of a loss where you're playing at home and you expected to get to the Sweet 16. Maybe it's a combination of, you know, the men just did it yesterday and there's such elation from that. And now here we are. Cash's date is texting her right now, I can tell. But you have all this elation there. And then, you know, all of a sudden your team that's supposed to win, you're a 2 seed, you're playing a 10, and all of a sudden you lose. I think that it's going to probably take a few days or a few weeks for fans to step back. I mean, you're more level-headed than some. But yeah, I mean, I think we all agree on that. Like, they were picked 7th in this league. They finished 2nd in the league for the regular season. They went to the Big Ten championship game. Yes, they got upset in round 2. Should not have happened. They should have made the Sweet 16 if you're meeting what expectations they set for themselves as the Big Ten season went on. But upsets do happen. As a whole, the season has to be labeled as a success, and they should be in a position to take a real big step forward next year. And I know Hannah's gone. I know Feuerbach is gone. I know McCabe is gone. But I really do believe with Velichko, and if you can get the development that you would anticipate that they will be able to achieve with people like Addie Deal, people like Velichko, people like Layla, Ava's going to be a big time senior. Or I'm sorry, she's going to be a junior. She's got 2 years ahead of her. So there's another opportunity of more growth. But yeah, they can achieve much higher things the next 2 years.
Well, yeah, just look at Ideal. You can tell how she handles herself on the court. She's got a ton of talent, and she's a winner. So she just needs to have time to pick up the speed of the game. You know, there's very few people can walk in and pick up the speed of the game right off the bat. I mean, that's a big jump, just like going from college to the W is a big jump.
Mm-hmm.
So from high school to college, there's still a jump. I mean, it's going to take a little time. I just wish people would give them a little credit, I guess, sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we agree.
But hopefully we can pull a mini Cash out of the portal to go along with that.
A mini Cash.
Y'all gonna have to wait until 20. I don't know what her name is. Juliana Alexander.
You know what that makes me think of, Cash? We need one of
What?
these. We need one of these of you.
Oh my God! Stop.
It's a mini Cash. We got a mini Doncic right here. We need.
Was it somebody in the Discord or something found my bobblehead? Who
Yeah,
was it?
I remember that. I don't remember who that was.
In some random store. That's crazy.
That's amazing.
That's hilarious.
And also weird. Like if you were in that store and you're like, oh, there's a bobblehead of me.
Yep. Yep. That's cool. Either way, thank you for calling in
Absolutely. Thank you
from
for calling in.
Knoxville, Iowa.
Well, thanks for all the good work you guys do. We do enjoy you out here. So
Thank you, sir. We appreciate you calling in. All right, let's go.
With a dirt racing. See, I learned.
Lots of dirt racing down there in Knoxville, Iowa. Let's go to our next caller. Thank you for calling Iowa Postgame with Kachine Alexander, who's on the line.
This is Chris in Wyoming.
Hey, Chris.
I've been to Knoxville, Iowa. Just thought I'd throw that out there.
Cool, man. Cool.
Yeah. So I want to comment about this flu man. How'd you meet this guy, Kachine?
Social media.
Oh.
I just want to say, flu man better not break your heart, or he's going to have hell to pay.
He can hear you.
He's got all these people who are going to have your back
Yeah.
if something happens. So
The Iowa Hawkeye fans got my back.
I betcha. I'll drive all the way from eastern Wyoming.
Get him. Get him, Chris.
So I don't know much to say other than that, except that the women exceeded our expectations, and we have to give them credit for that. And I just feel like they hit their mark early, or they hit their peak early, and then somehow people started getting afraid to shoot the ball, and we can't win that way. So already looking forward to the next season. And I also want to say, in terms of the men's game, you know, everybody was going on and on about that was the most exciting moment ever. And, you know, you weren't alive when we went to the Final Four. And that's still the most exciting. It was still, it was a last second by Steve Waite that took us to the Final Four. So that was just an exciting. So I have to throw that out there. Also, do you think Ben McConn's going to get Coach of the Year?
I think they've already handed those awards down, haven't they? I don't know about the national awards, but no, he won't get Coach of the Year. If they make the Final Four, he should. National Coach of the Year, but no, that doesn't happen.
Okay, boy, he deserves it.
He
so
does.
Yeah, and back to the women. I mean, they gave us. It was fun to watch, and it was heartbreaking when they lost. And you know, they should have won today. You know, but we lost our mojo, and then what are you going to do about it? So
They did.
anyway, yeah. So I just want to thank you and Kachine and everybody else for this show. I've always enjoyed it, and
Thank you, Chris.
And go Hawks for the men. So,
Absolutely. Thank you, Chris. We appreciate your
Okay.
calls all the time. All right.
all right, thank you, Corey and
Take
Kachine.
care. Yep. Bye-bye.
Bye.
By the way, I have this awesome. Yeah, maybe I don't know how that works in the. I don't know how it works in the 21st century with boyfriend girlfriend. Like, are we calling each other boyfriend girlfriend after the first or second date? I don't know. But,
No. I'm old school. You gotta ask me to be your girlfriend. No, that's
all
not
right. So I have this real quick. Let me get rid of this real quick.
What you got going on, Corey? You being sneaky over there.
No, I have this awesome name. I may have to explain it if you're not familiar with the comic world. I'm not this big comic book guy.
Okay.
But your date is going to be nicknamed Flu Manchu. Because, you know, Fu Manchu was one of the great comic villains with the mustache. You know what I'm talking about? He's Flu Manchu.
That's hilarious.
It's perfect.
That
He's
is
Flu
hilarious.
Manchu. So from now
Flu
on, I'm going to
Manchu.
ask you, how's Flu Manchu? So
Okay, that's fair.
if you tell me in the coming weeks, well, Flu Manchu is no more, then I'll know it didn't work out. So,
Um,
all right.
Next date night is to watch the Iowa men play again. So, hey.
Oh, okay. Well, they better win, or it might not go well for Flu Manchu.
Fair.
All right, folks. We got a few quick fire comments here in the chat. Laura, I'm not here to defend everything that Coach Jensen does, far from it, but let's remember that this somewhat inexperienced team finished second in the Big Ten. They were not in the top 5 early on. And Tim, he called in earlier. He says, I told Corey this. We have 2 of the best recruiters in the country in Jan Jensen and Lysandra Barrett, and we have funds. We got to go big in the portal. He also adds that Iowa needs to scrap the point guard thing with Addie. She needs to strictly work on her off-ball game. That's going to allow her to get open looks more often. I think they should have worked on that this year. But again, I'm working on it on the fly with a true freshman. There's challenges associated with that. AR, is our money pot large enough to attract super athletes? Well, they've gotten a couple of 5-stars in Velichko and Deal, and they've had other visits. So we shall see what we shall see on that note. But Iowa basketball, women's basketball, still very relevant. Bobby Nielsen, Coach Jensen said we did not deserve to win today. The stats proved such. Yeah, I mean, you probably have seen the stats, but if you have not, here's a look at the box score. I know you probably don't want to see this, but for the sake of our show, let's go ahead and
free throw. Jesus Christ. 5 of 29.
5 of 29 from 3, 8 of 16 from the foul line. You just can't shoot free throws like that and expect to win. The men got away with it yesterday. But boy, and to the men's credit, like it was a couple of guys. Alvaro was like 7 of 7. Ava Hayden was 4-4. Man, she's been a revelation at the foul line. But Hannah Stulke,
20 O boards.
11 O boards for Hannah Stulke. Journey Houston had 3. Did you think Journey should have gotten some time at the 3 in that second half when Hannah had it rolling?
Take out Taylor Stremlow. She won't give me jack squat.
Well, to me, it wasn't even about that. It was about the fact that Journey was playing so well on the glass in the first half, and you're not getting any. You're dealing with foul trouble with Ava. You're not getting anything from Stremlow, and Addie Deal's a non-factor. You got to go with somebody off the bench, and it's not going to be Layla Hayes.
No.
So yeah, here are the stats. Iowa, in total, on the rebounding front, winning that 50-42. Here are some other notable stats. Virginia outscored Iowa's bench 15-4. You just can't lose to that extent. And then giving up 18 points in overtime number 2. I know some of those were free throws, Cash.
We had 20 O boards and only got 9 second chance points. What was the point of that?
20 O boards, yeah. 20 O boards compared to 6 for. Wait a minute, is that a typo?
That is not a typo.
6 offensive rebounds for Virginia compared to 20 for Iowa, and yet Virginia bested Iowa in second chance points, 13-9. That's a wild.
That's a crazy stat line. How many turnovers do we have?
Iowa had 16 turnovers to Virginia's 20.
84.
So Virginia was much
go
more
back upstairs real quick. We attempted 84 shots, and they attempted what? Oh, my God.
63. But that
we
means
attempted 20 more shots and still lost the game.
They were much more opportunistic off those turnovers, weren't they?
God. 27 points off our turnovers. Oh,
Dennis wants to know.
That's what happens when you shoot 5 of 29.
What's the solution to missing all these free throws moving forward, Kachine?
Get better free throw shooters.
Well,
Hannah's never been a good free throw shooter. So
yeah, Hannah. I thought Hannah was on a track to being a great free throw shooter, but boy, it stalled, and they lose a good free throw shooter in Kylie, but Ava's been pretty good. I mean, this team is not a bad free throw shooting team.
No.
But when Hannah misses 5.
When it counts.
Hannah misses 5, and then Chit Chat misses a pair. And Journey's going to have more opportunities at the line, so we'll see what happens there.
Right.
Micah wants to know if you think Rodriguez will come back.
Who knows? I hope so, but who knows?
My hunch, I'm just guessing. My guess is maybe she'll hit the portal, but I have no. That's a.
I don't see what's her face staying. Tegan.
Yeah, that's going to be another one to follow. Sheila says, I'm surprised at myself for getting so emotionally attached to a team. I do think part of the sadness is seeing the seniors go and that they were the last connection to Caitlin Clark in those glory days. Yeah, there was a certain sadness being in the arena right above that tunnel, not just seeing those girls crying and dealing with the sudden defeat and seeing Jada and Taylor comfort one another. I mean, there was just a lot going on there, but there is something to be said for this was the last connection in some regards, roster-wise, to the Caitlin Clark era. All right, and I'm looking through a couple of these. All right, we got a couple of we got one caller that hopped on here. We had another one that hopped off. So again, please forgive me for having to look all over the place to make sure we have everything in place before we accept calls. So I'm going to continue to do my best in that regard. We will head over our phone line. Whoops. Get rid of that.
Hello.
All right. Thank you for calling Iowa Postgame with Kachine Alexander. Who's on the line? Hello, you're on the air. Hello? All right, let's go to our other caller. Thank you for calling Iowa Postgame with Kachine Alexander. Who's on the line?
Angelo.
Hey, Angelo.
Just a quick. Hey, I see our Luke is playing right now. now, but I can't watch them because they're not on TV. So.
Oh, you talking about
Anyway.
Luka Garza?
No, Luka Doncic.
The one and only Luka Doncic. I see. See this guy right here?
But anyway,
Yeah. See Kachine?
that's all right. That's all right. Luka Garza, that's just fine. Quick question for you, Kachine. You know, I love that. Quick, you're the man. But anyway, I wonder why more women don't try, since they don't, just try a step back three or just because like Caitlin had it and a few other players have it, but like drive in and then just because you can't really, sometimes you can't jump over a person to get your jump shot off. I'm just wondering why more women don't do that, try that shot. And I will say this for that gal from Virginia, that Kamara, she was quicker than crap. She was quick. She was good. Anyway, question for Kachine. I would think more women would practice that shot. I even tried teaching my daughter how to do it because she was so short, so she could create space. But she was 5'3", and I know she wasn't going to go anywhere. So anyway, thanks.
Thanks for the call, sir. Yeah, that's a good question. Kachine, can you comment on the possibility of maybe
Some people
I
just
don't
don't have
know,
the mechanics.
why isn't it taught more? I guess
Some people don't have the mechanics for it. It's very simple, and not a lot of people have the mechanics for it.
Go ahead.
It's a very simple answer.
You kind of froze out on my screen, but I can still hear you, so that's good.
Good.
All right, we're gonna try to get through our calls here. Thank you for calling Iowa Postgame with Kachine Alexander. Who's on the line?
This is Tom in Des Moines. How are you guys doing?
We're doing good, Tom. How are you?
I'm doing good. I guess I'll start with the comment that you put up. I didn't see Jan's postgame, but Jan saying that the team didn't deserve to win, and I guess I certainly don't agree with that. I feel like the coaching, at least in the second overtime, really failed to appreciate that Chit Chat was clearly cooked. I mean, she was done. She didn't have legs under her. I remember as they sent her to the free throw line, I'm like, oh, dear goodness, send Ava, because Ava is not intimidated. Chit Chat made one of the two, but, I really think like the team would have benefited if they brought in Journey for Chit Chat. I realize you dance with the one like Brunya, but for me, it was like watching Ronnie Harmon in the Rose Bowl, which maybe is before both your guys' time. But
well, Ronnie Harmon was accused of throwing the Rose Bowl, which I don't believe occurred, but that's a little different. But yeah, I get to some extent your point.
Well, in real time, I don't know that there was also what he was doing the night before. But I'm just saying the visual was. I just thought anyone in tune with Chit Chat would have recognized that there was no gas left in the motor, which is unfortunate. But that would dovetail with a comment I've made before, and I've seen other posts that you've put up agreeing that really the team really needs to think about an assistant who really has the kind of genius as an offensive coordinator that the team deserves. I mean, watching that final play yesterday with the men's game, what a perfectly called play in the moment. And I didn't feel like our second overtime was very well called from a coaching standpoint. And I'll make the other comment I always make, which is don't leave that 15 scholarship open. I go back to our last national championship game where we were out of legs and we were gassed. And obviously Jan does not trust the bench to come in and play, even though there's desperation for some fresh legs. I don't know what that is or why that is, but
so hold on just a second.
It's frustrating.
Hold on just a second, Tom. I want to make sure we're addressing the right thing, but I just want to make something very clear. Let's reason through this. So you're telling me you still have an issue with the 15 scholarship thing, even though scholarships 10, 11, 12, 13 don't play.
Well, I don't want to get into claiming that the team should change its whole culture and trim dead wood. I think perhaps Kachine is in that camp. That's not a morass that I wanted to wade into. We've got injured. Well, I don't count them up. The number of injured people we've got, and there are an awful lot of people here who are wondering, why didn't Journey play more? Why is Callie shut out from coming into the game? My gosh, we could have used, that Energizer Bunny. I don't.
But I guess my point, Tom, my point in bringing it up, my only issue, I'm not saying you're wrong, but because, I don't feel as strongly about this as Kachine, but what I'm saying is the people that to get to like 12, 13, 14 have been the likes of Kenise Johnson, Etienne, Tegan Mullaney, Jada Gyamfi. So it's like, if that's all they can, I know it sounds bad, but if that's all they can get for roster depth at that, with scholarships 11, 12, 13, then how are they going to get anybody viable for 15?
Well, I've said before, and obviously you folks may not agree, and you guys are far more into basketball than I am, but to my eye, they're going to be 1,200 to 1,500 Division I players enter the portal. And I would say, to my estimation, like I have any insight here, 700 of those players would absolutely love to wear a Tiger Hawk on their chest.
Sure.
So I think we see things a little differently. And I think there's benefit to having someone on the roster who might develop as opposed to just a ghost spot.
Yeah, I'm not saying you're wrong. I will say the only counter I'd have to that last comment is you only have so much time to work with individuals and develop talent.
Well, an awful lot of teams seem to think they have time to have 15 players. And they do also trim the wood for players who have not played and are not going to play.
Hey, I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that. If somebody ain't playing and they ain't holding their water, then I'm fine with them moving on. I'm not going to debate you on that one.
Yeah, I don't know how you make a deep run in March with, if you look at our roster and who's available and who they're willing to play. I don't know how anyone can reasonably think they're going to get much beyond, the round of 32.
Right.
There's not many teams in the NCAA tournament that Division I high caliber teams that have 15 people on their roster.
Well, I've looked at it and I respectfully disagree. Just go look.
Do you know if all of those people are on scholarship?
You're asking. All I can do is count the number that's there on the roster.
But that's what I'm saying. You're saying, like, I've counted them. You don't know if all those people are on scholarship. There is such a thing as a walk-on scholarship.
But in
I'm telling you that coaches do not like
that's silly.
Having 15 players on their roster.
That's just silly.
Because I can't get rid of you legally. You have to leave. So if I have you on my scholarship just because, and you're not cutting it, and you decide you want to stay in uniform, I'm stuck with you. So no, if you are not going to cut it, then now if you're getting, for example, let's say we have 4 scholarships available and we get 4 quality players that can vie for a.
Corey asked this question.
You said what now?
Go ahead,
you said
Tom.
what now?
I'm just saying you're trying to take me into a quagmire. I'm not making that argument. Corey brought it up.
No, I mean your argument is still the same thing of having 15 people on scholarship. All I'm saying is the reason why people don't do it is because you run the risk of a lot of things. Getting stuck with players, people being upset because they're not playing because they're not going to play. You're not playing more than 9-10 people tops, and barely any teams play 10 people. So now you're talking about sitting 7 people and they're not getting we've seen Tegan Mullaney and her dad and how he's acted with her not playing minutes. You run the risk of somebody messing up your culture. Nobody wants that. So you don't do that. You keep that open scholarship. You might do 14. Again, if you are going to get 4 quality people that are going to vie for a starting spot, fine.
You don't think that's a reasonable argument, Tom, that it could disrupt culture if you have too many cooks in the kitchen?
I think it's the argument that's made. I think you're talking about a culture that maybe is in the rearview mirror at this point if you actually want to be making Final Fours.
Well,
I really do.
okay.
I really do.
Well, you better make sure you bring in the right people.
You're clinging onto a past that hasn't existed for a couple of years now, in my opinion.
No,
He said what that hasn't existed? What he said?
You're clinging on to. He said you're clinging on to a past. You're clinging on to a culture in the past that hasn't existed in several years.
What culture and past is that?
The Final Four culture.
Which is what?
I don't know.
No. I mean, the thing you constantly hear is, Iowa culture, and I'm all for
Iowa
that.
culture has been around since I was there. It's not going to change.
He's not saying.
Well, I think you're making my point, but guys, I've made the points I wanted to call in and make, and I really don't.
We love you.
Join your offer.
We love you, Tom.
I love you guys.
Thank you,
Great
sir.
show.
Appreciate
Best
it.
in the country.
Alrighty, appreciate it. Thank you, sir. Oh man, I love it.
Tom is gonna die on that hill, and he's gonna die solo. Because I don't know if there's anybody on planet Earth who agrees with him.
He feels very strongly on it. I appreciate a strong opinion at times. So let's go to what I think might be our second to last caller. Thank you for calling Iowa Postgame with Kachine Alexander. Who's on the line?
Evening, guys. This is Matt from Knoxville, Iowa again.
Hey, Matt.
Thanks for taking the call.
Absolutely.
First, I want to apologize to you, Corey. I should have introduced myself last night, and so I didn't mean to be rude. So my apologies.
What happened last night? What are we talking about that happened? Am I wrong about something that happened last night? I'm not missing something.
Oh no, I called in and you called me Taylor.
Oh yes, well, that was my fault.
So no, my apologies. I felt bad after that, and I also want to apologize to Coach for kind of making it a joke about the Knoxville thing. I did not mean for that to happen, so please forgive me. I'm so sorry.
Kachine,
I appreciate you because you gave me a little geography lesson, so I appreciate you. I'm a sponge. I like to learn new things.
But this man came with repentance and humility, so we appreciate that.
And I will continue that point with, I think I speak for all of us when I say thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy day and life to give us the therapy we probably need, Coach. We need it so bad after today, so we appreciate it.
Absolutely.
You are very welcome.
We're happy to be here.
All
You
right,
all make it worthwhile.
Short and sweet.
Okay.
What's that?
I said you all make it worthwhile.
We try our best. So I'll just be quick about, I know I said the other day about youth. About the youth being a factor and why the struggles occurred. And I'm still going to stand by. I don't think it is an excuse, but, well, second game in a row. And maybe I guess it just did caught up to against a good, experienced team that Virginia turned out to be. So I give them a lot of credit for showing up and continuing to punch the girls in the mouth as they did. And they deserved it. And with all the opportunities we had, we simply did not. So it's tough to swallow, but I'll try to keep finding a way to live with this one, which I'm sure they will too. So I really don't have much more to say. I just thank you for therapy.
Absolutely. No, we appreciate it. We're happy to let you get that out, and hopefully we were able to provide that all year.
And I'll end on, I appreciate, Coach being super enthusiastic as well as we were last night. And hopefully we get that. We can find a way to get past Nebraska again on Thursday on the next side, and make this thing a little less. And I completely agree with and that you love your takes on Coach McCollum too. So, all right, thanks a lot,
All right,
guys.
Matt.
I appreciate your time.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate you calling in.
Let's go get it.
Go get it. Absolutely. Thank you, Matt.
I have a question because I wasn't on last night. Did y'all talk about if that win was better than the Iowa women's and South Carolina win?
No, we didn't talk about that.
Okay, I'll keep my comments to myself. Keep going.
Why you think it's better than the South Carolina win?
I was just curious what everybody else thought.
No, I think it's apples.
Is
to
it
oranges.
more of a classic win than that one?
I think it's apples to oranges. I can't. I don't know that we can compare the
I'm
two.
so curious.
Somebody said, "Is it a bigger win than Iowa USC last year in women's basketball?" And I'm like, some regular season game, like just because Caitlin had her jersey retired, what's that got to do with anything?
Yeah, the only reason why I said South Carolina was because I felt like that was a good,
Right.
like we were not supposed. Nobody chose us.
Right. No, that's a close
to beat
comp.
South Carolina, and
That's a
nobody
close
chose us
comp.
to beat Florida. So
I would put that above simply because that was a Final Four game and this was not.
I understand. I'm just saying.
Yeah. All right, let's go back to our phone line. Thank you for calling Iowa Postgame with Kachine, who's on the line.
Not Bobby going through every roster. I love him. He's hilarious. Go ahead.
So,
Hello?
Hello.
hello, hi, can you hear me?
Hi, we got you.
All right. Yeah, I tried to call in, so I guess mine was busy earlier. But anyway, couple of things. Before I want to talk both men's and women's. Before I get to the women, men's, it's crazy, but I thought Iowa had a chance because it reminds me of when Ken Clark, the women's going against South Carolina's undefeated team, and with all the high and high. And they were, 12-point underdog. So the way the men's team play defense, and with having nobody give them a chance, I figured I had a good feeling that Iowa might upset Florida. It's crazy as sound. As long as they play the defense, close the game, and get a couple of shooters like Touch and Taylor Banks play his part out. I think they have a good chance to beat Nebraska for the Elite Eight, and I think they have a chance to beat Houston too. Or to go against them in Houston, but I would be surprised if Iowa make it all the way to Final Four, and if it does, I think it's going to help with today's loss women's team. Anyway, going back to the women's game, one, I think the women will achieve with what they had, the lack of guard plays. I think it's got too much pressure. I think with Chit-Chat. Today's game, I was really happy that she stepped up as a primary number 2 scorer. Lack of guards. They couldn't make the 3-point shots. I mean, I watched the first 2 round games, and if you can't hit the 3-point shots, yeah, it's going to be really hard. Today's game, because I watched Virginia play both 2 games. First of all, we were really lucky actually to be in the game. Couple things here I think a lot of people they point out was the last moment before the regular. If I don't know what's going on with Strimlow, when she scores at least 5 to 10 points, I mean, I think we win. But ever since the UCLA game, she has been the same, and I mean, she hasn't scored anything the first 2 games. And if she just hit that 3-point shot, I think we might would have win the game. Besides, either Chit-Chat makes the free throw or what's the name?
Feuerbach.
Yeah. No, the forward.
Stolke.
If she made the free throw, it would have game.
Yeah.
But because of I've been watching the game, but the lack of guards, Feuerbach, she's all about defense, but she can't make anything from the outside. If we just hit one of those 3-point shots between Strimlow, Feuerbach, or anybody, I think we win the game. I think when I watched the game, I knew because second half, once Virginia adjusted, played defense, and they know all we had was just what's the name, Ava,
They double team on her, and there's a couple of times I watched the game where Ava actually missed pretty easy layup.
She missed some gimmies tonight.
So, yeah, I watched that. Yeah. Again, people don't understand. I think the team overachieved with what they got.
Yeah, we
but
agree.
even with that, they had so many opportunities to win the game, and people don't realize. I think the crowd at Carver-Hawkeye arenas actually helped in a lot of games at home for the Hawkeyes.
Absolutely.
Hold on. I didn't hear from nobody from the chat room or even people call in. I think, and I don't know, it's the lack. I don't know if it's because of the blowout from the UCLA postgame, but people don't understand. There's a lot of sophomores and freshmen in this team, and I think there's a lot of pressure for them. Yeah, we as Iowa fans and Hawkeye fans are used to winning, and we expect for them, like, I mean, hey, am I correct? Like, even you guys admit that we should go to the Sweet 16, beat this team. But as a fan, you guys don't understand how much pressure it is to be a number 2 seed, playing at home in front of 15, 18,000 people and hundreds of people on the national TV. So there's a lot of inexperience for freshmen.
Sir, I have to. I hate to do this, but I have to cut you off because Cash has got to go. But we appreciate you calling in, sir.
Okay, no problem.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. We appreciate that. Yeah, I'm not trying to be rude, but we gotta get going. So, so anyways, all right. I think we're gonna power that part of our phone line down and let's make sure that we're good there. Okay. All right, folks. Please give Kachine Alexander a round of applause for putting in a long season with us. You make the show go round, Kachine. So you're not going anywhere. I'm not going to give you some big goodbye, but
right.
We'll talk women's basketball here soon, and we just appreciate everything you've given to the show once again this year. It wouldn't be anything without you. So
thank you guys. We'll see you soon. I'm sure
we'll talk about recruiting, or we'll talk about some news, or maybe we'll do a national championship thing or something. So
yeah, there's plenty of other things to do. I mean, I think this is going to be a very active postseason.
Yes.
So from people potentially leaving to people, transfer portal business. So yes, it will not be the last. We'll try to keep you guys. Plus, we have Discord.
The Discord, folks. Join, and Cash is on the Discord. $5 a month, $50 for a year. All right, Kachine, you have a great night. We'll talk to you soon.
Bye.
All right. I am not Kyle Spence Golf, but I am here, and we're going to take our last 2 callers, and we're going to hang it up. We got Jay Smith on with us. Jay, welcome.
Hey, thanks for having me. Great show, by the way. Great show, by the way. I had a couple questions, and the caller 2 or 3 before me, was talking about the roster and whatnot. I kind of agree with you. You get 15 on there, that's an issue. And talking about development, but I do have a question about development. You were talking about knowing your roles. I think you were talking about that earlier, specifically with Addie and whatnot. I'm not sure the bench got any better, during the year. I could be wrong, but I'm sure there's 2 or 3 players that are they're okay, not to name them, kind of being on the team and whatnot. Just kind of want your thoughts on the development of players. And again, I think of Tegan, and I think of Callie, kind of right off the bat, in some of their minutes. And again, today was tough on the shooting, but man, I feel that those guys can kind of do what, Kylie did or Strimlow did, or, and maybe I'm totally off here, but, those are some of the kids, everybody's talking about the portal. Well, you're not going to get everybody in the portal. You still got to have some of these kids that you hope are coming back, right? As far as, developing them. I didn't see a lot of development, from some of these some of these kids. I should say improvement. And again, I think that's on the coaching staff a little bit, and maybe I'm off on this, but
Well,
I think some of it caught up to him. And again, great year, as kind of everybody said. I'm not sure anybody was expecting this, but I do believe that it kind of caught up to him. With the lack of bench, obviously.
Yeah, I don't know if Addie Deal is substantially better now than she was in December. I mean, I think in November she came out right out of the gates nervous and totally like you just don't understand speed of play at this level. But then, yeah, is she substantially better now than she was in December? I don't know the answer to that question. She's certainly not playing as much as she was in January and February. Today was a perfect example of that. As far as Callie is concerned, I've been an advocate for giving her some of those minutes that Kylie has taken. I think today there was probably I don't say it was over concern, but there was a strong concern with Kimora Johnson because she is by far their best weapon. And I thought Kylie did fine on her. I don't know that I've seen enough tape. I don't know that I've seen enough evidence at this level to be able to say that Callie could give exactly what Kylie can give on that end. But hey, Kylie's gone. So this is it. I mean, this was the last hurrah for Kylie. Without question, what you said is true. The development of their guards, and I think I would expect a couple of those people that are riding the bench to leave. One being Kenise potentially. We'll see. Maybe she sticks around and sees this thing out. But my focus would be on Callie and on Addie and their development. They got to go to the portal regardless. But you need somebody that can A, fill a role of 3-point shooting that Taylor leaves behind, and then B, do you have somebody that can be a shut it down type of guard? Chit Chat lacks the size. I think she can be I think she is a decent defender, but can you get another Kylie? Certainly the natural fit would be Callie. But I just don't know. I don't know if she's got the tenacity on the defensive end that Kylie does because I haven't seen enough evidence. I don't think the staff has put enough trust in her in a game. Does she deserve that trust? I don't know that either. I'm just saying I have not seen it demonstrated on game day. She's another one. When Taylor McCabe went down, there was this big void as it related to outside shooting. And I just don't know that Iowa, this is my opinion from the outside. I really, you could say I'm talking to my butt here, but I don't know that Iowa made some concerted effort to fill that role per se from a stylistic standpoint, meaning Taylor was a 3-point shooter. Like I wish they could have at least toyed with running Addie or running Kylie off screens. I mean, Callie was a really good 3-point shooter in high school. Addie was a really good 3-point shooter in high school. But we just didn't see that. Tegan, I worry more about Tegan because I think she really suffers on the defensive end more than Addie and Callie combined. But, they didn't fill that void. So 3-point shooting and defense is going to be the biggest thing, I think, for this team moving forward at the guard spot because they're not looking to fill point. They're looking to fill that too.
Right, and I agree with you. Sometimes winning can also blind you a little bit.
Possible, yeah.
What I think. So great show.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it, man. Yeah, that's a good comment, and I understand it, and I don't necessarily disagree with the. Again, you go so short on the bench today. I just where do you find because you want Kylie on Johnson, you need Hannah in there because she's working her tail off. Ava's your best player, so there's 3 spots filled. Chit Chat's your she's going to have to play like 40 minutes, even though her legs were done. She played close to 50 tonight. So then it's like, okay, Strimlo, where does Strimlo's minutes? When she's not on the floor, where do her minutes go? Addie, and you find time for Callie. You're not going to probably play Keegan, and then Journey's got to find some time in there. And Layla played a spurt, but I do think that's the biggest thing this program needs to figure out is rotations moving forward. The biggest thing, and this is year 3 we're approaching for Jan, and it starts with Jan, of course. I know she's got assistants that help with that, but development, but also in-game substitution patterns, I think, are something that are going to be key. And of course, they'll have new people, new personalities, and we're not even bringing up Emily Rodriguez, who has the potential of being back next year. Folks, Iowa women's basketball season is over. 83-75 loss to the Virginia Cavaliers in the NCAA tournament inside Carver-Hawkeye Arena. Second round NCAA tournament defeat. Of course, Big Grove's big play of the game, we mentioned it earlier. Stolke's layup that put Iowa up by 6 with under 4 to go, but it was not enough as this game went into double OT. And eventually, Kamora Johnson and the Cavs, too much for the Hawkeyes, and they will be advancing to the Sweet 16. Of course, the Iowa men will play this coming Thursday in the Sweet 16. What a game it was last night. And I will be there on location in Houston covering the game. We do have a time now. I know it's not on the banner, but it's, I believe, 6:30, 6 o'clock, somewhere in there. You can look it up. Simple Google search will take care of that. Iowa and, I'm sorry, I got the wrong banner up. Let's get the correct banner up. I'm sure somebody would have been calling me out for that later. So let's make sure we make the correction on that now. I think we have that banner made. We displayed it last night. Here it is. Iowa, Nebraska. So the 9 seed Hawkeyes and the 4 seed the Huskers on Thursday. Thursday spelled wrong. So, hey, you know what? Lots of things have been happening on the fly over these last 2 games. So give us some grace. We'll get it figured out, I promise. But yes, the Hawkeyes and the Huskers, a renewing of that rivalry. 6:30 p.m. Central Time, the tip on TBS and True TV. And it'll be a Kevin Harlan, Robbie Hummel, Stan Van Gundy call. Looking forward to that, even though I'm not going to be listening to the TV broadcast. I'll go back and watch it later. Folks, thank you so much. Thanks to Big Grove Brewery, all of our great sponsors, all of you. If you're considering joining our Discord, instructions across the bottom of your screen. If you're so willing and you'd like to donate to the show, I know seasons end. Sometimes it feels like the appropriate time to do so. If you're interested in donating to the show, please consider that. And if possible, don't do so through a super chat at this point. Please consider Venmo, PayPal, Cash App. Links are in our description. If you want to donate by credit card, click the PayPal link. You don't need a PayPal account. You can use a credit card and make a one-time donation. Thank you, everybody, for being here. It's been a great season. Thanks to Cash. We'll talk to everybody soon.